So, today's kind of just a random day. There's no real topic planned. There really isn't. At least not planned.
Well, yeah, no.
It's definitely a day of like, fuck it. What are we going to talk about? What kind of rabbit hole can we go down? What kind of shit can we get into?
You know by the title. But anyways.
Who says there's going to be a title?
Okay, fine.
So, okay, yeah, no. I usually try to make some sort of title relative to whatever the fuck we're doing. I mean, the first one was technology.
Yeah.
I think it was technology or tech and idiocy or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out from here. So yeah, very simple day. But aside from that first, how was your fucking day?
I burned myself. Also, fuck gloves, because they're annoying.
Yeah.
But Band-Aids are nice.
Until they press against it from when you bend your fingers wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. That's, yeah, it's
Or
one of those things.
weekend on my, the extra abrasive texture on the extra bit on my heavy bag.
Yeah, see, again.
I wrap my hand next time.
Yes, you do. Even if you just, like, grab some random-ass toilet paper and wrap it. Just wrap it. Hell, you know what? No. Duct tape. Use duct tape.
There you go.
Just done. Set. Box.
I
You
have
know.
shitty gaffer's tape, so that works.
There you go. You know, shitty duct tape, shitty gaffer's tape, fucking,
Does shitty duct
painter's tape.
exist?
Yeah, actually it does.
Does?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
It doesn't even call itself duct tape, really. It's like just fucking tape.
that. It just says tape.
It's like just tape.
Then it's not like duct tape.
Not really, no. But, it tries
It
to...
looks kind of like it,
It looks like it, and it tries to act like it.
but it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you'll see tags that say duct tape, but it's not. You will stick it to, like, say, this little table, and then you'll be able to go, oh, look at that. It's off. And no problems.
Push it off.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, you could, apply it really well, press down firmly, and I can go, done.
Yeah.
Duct tape, it's a lot harder. You're going, scrape, and you're pushing into it. You have to get, like, a knife or a scraper just to get it off of something. Even itself.
You have fingernails, bro.
Huh?
You have fingernails, bro.
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Use fingernails.
Fingernails work as long as you have fingernails. I don't always have fingernails. I tend to cut them off. And not with, like, nail clippers or something. I will get my fucking box knife or something and go...
Why?
Because then I can also go... and smooth it out.
Okay. I guess that kind of works out.
I don't use nail clippers, man. I just use knife. Freaking... That's all I use for clipping my fingernails, really, is a knife. Toenails, different knife.
I used a knife to cut things out of me before, whether that's on my fingers or toes.
I've done that. I've done that in front of my grandma and my dad and made them both go... Which is fun when that happens because, you're like, hey, I don't know this. And then you're like, scrape. Next thing you know, you're like a quarter of the inch of the blade into your own palm and you're like, oh, blood. But I got what I needed out.
Yeah.
It's bad when that
Have you
happens,
ever
though.
had to cut something out of you that was like kind of resistant to it, where it's like, and it kind of like comes out after some pressure, like kind of like detaches as you pull it.
Yeah, I've had to do a few things like that before. I mean, I had that happen once before when I had not necessarily a splinter, but it technically was, but it was about the size of a damn toothpick almost, at least in diameter. That fucker went so far into my hand right around here, I had to literally take my knife and make an incision down the length of that piece of wood just to peel away and pull out. And even then it was hard because it was so splintered on all around its diameter that it was trying to just stay in there. It was like it was clinging on. Like trying to peel somebody off a cactus just about. Who's practically wrapped around it.
Peel a cactus out of a group of people.
That too. It's the same damn problem. It's gonna hurt a lot more when you try to take something out. I've been there a couple different times. What I don't think you've been through, but I can guarantee try to avoid at all costs, is falling and having a wood screw go into your leg. Because I have fallen, and I still have the scar. It went right into my leg. To the head.
Ooh.
Dude, I couldn't pull it out.
Yeah.
I had to sit there and unscrew the damn thing as blood is just dripping down my leg. It was a horrible sight because, one, I didn't have my socks and shoes on because I had to take those off so I didn't get blood and all on them. But I'm sitting there and blood is just streaming down my leg onto this like paper plate and paper towels, right? It looks like a horrible, gruesome scene from like Saw or something like that, you know? And that happened all because I couldn't see the wood screw, or it kind of blends in with our carpet. Well, our carpet is like a brown color, so, and it's kind of almost like shag, but not quite. But it just kind of blends in, especially when standing straight up. I'm still trying to figure out how I got straight up. But I was moving, and I tripped over my dog at the time. That's when I went forward and down and immediately turned over and went, ow! And I looked and there it is. Next thing I know, I'm bleeding everywhere, wiping it up, and I've got it out finally. And there's this little bit of something white from deep within the leg, not like at the level, not like at the main level of flesh and whatnot, but down into like the muscle and all that. Something little white and sticking out. I'm pretty sure it was a nerve. Cause,
you'll find out.
well, there's like no pain in that little area. So, yeah. Or at least a partial nerve severation, you know, just like bit of it severed, not all of it, but enough. So, but eventually though, I finally got to the point, and it sucked too because for many years, we never really kept Band-Aids in the house. I mean, we kind of did for a point, but every time I needed one, we were out. It was amazing. So what I did was I took toilet paper, wrap, apply a little bit of pressure, duct tape, apply a lot of pressure, and I had all the pressure I had all the pressure applied, and I just left it alone. I never even cleansed it, dude. I just wiped away the blood, wrapped toilet paper, wrapped duct tape, done, end of story. You could still see the scar.
The only thing I would have done different is like pour some water on it.
I had hydrogen peroxide, which is good for cleaning it up.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. I just sat there sweating from the shock of being impaled in the leg. I sat there sweating, bandaged it up with, household toiletries, and then I proceeded to go and make the toilet my best friend for the next 10 minutes. And this was at a point, too, where my grandma was in her bedroom asleep because it was like 1 in the morning. This was a time where I was like, not really in school. I was more so homeschooled or something like that. So I just stayed up late. I'd watch Adult Swim, Toonami, things like that, right? So it was around that time, which, is like 1 to 3 in the morning.
Did you not scream when you got impaled?
No?
Okay.
Why would I? I didn't even scream when I incisioned my other leg.
Yeah, but you're like expecting that. It was like depending on the like.
No, I was not expecting just impalement on this leg.
Well, no, I mean like when you cut yourself open. Oh wait. Which one was that?
So I didn't scream when I impaled myself with this one. I didn't even expect on the other leg to get a big ol' incision.
Okay, why'd you get big old incision on your left leg?
So this was a later point after the screw. I was probably about like 12 or something like that. So, a phone call.
That was from one of the other hosts.
He's probably going to call my phone next. Too bad. It's over there in the corner. But no, so I was probably about like 10 or 12 or something like that, right? And I had a box knife, much like the one I've currently got, right? So I had one of these, and I was whittling away on wood, and I was kicked back in my chair with my legs up on my desk. Knife got stuck. I was like, well, if I pull it this way, I'm going into my leg. If I just press my hand here against my leg, which is against a oak desk that I can't move because there's a wall against it behind it, this leg ain't moving. Okay. I'll pull this, the wood, right into the leg. This decided to go. I'm going to move. I didn't even push this towards the leg that I went into. It just decided slip. And the entire blade, that whole bit of blade went into that leg, right in there.
Little box cutter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you guys know the little Husky box cutter, you've got like almost an inch of blade going into you. It is not fun. Like, admittedly, I looked at it and I'm like, interesting. Applied my hand to it, proceeded to the bathroom, toilet paper, duct tape. And I left it alone. The next morning, apparently, I left some bloody toilet paper just sitting on top of the trash in the trash can, because it's an open top little side trash can that we just pull a plastic bag out of, tie, and toss away. So next morning, my dad wakes me up and he's like, come into the bathroom, please. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, lift up your pant leg. I'm like, I can't very well. And it gets up to where the toilet paper and duct tape is, and I can't pull it up anymore. And my dad's like, all right. He was like, pull your pants down and let me see this. And I'm like, see what? He's like, the damage. So, I drop my pants down, and he just notices this wad of toilet paper ploofing out the sides of the duct tape, which has now practically eroded the toilet paper and applying itself to my skin just about. Because, well, I fell asleep in it. I toss and turn. The toilet paper's gonna come loose, okay? But, he takes, a thing of hydrogen peroxide. He doesn't measure anything out either. He just goes, blub, 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 blub. And I'm sitting with my leg in the bathtub, and he's just continuously pouring. And I've got it, turned just enough to where it'll sit on it a little bit. And then he'll stop for a moment. We'll let it fizz and bubble and all that. Once it stops, apply again. Once it stops, apply again. And he did that about 5 times. Same thing about the other leg that happened to this one. There's little white strands sticking out of the hole. I'm like, oh boy. So right in there, right there it is. I know, because I can't feel there anymore. And it's about that big of an area that I cannot feel, which is, about an inch and a quarter in diameter almost.
Yeah, inch and a half.
So, yeah. There's like no feeling in that little spot now because I was a dumbass.
Way to go.
Hey, you know what? Because of that, I have a higher pain tolerance towards things. I mean, I've fried myself several times in the house. There's one day we had this old
Yeah, you have tons of pain tolerance right there. You can't feel anything.
Yeah, but we had, this motion sensor porch light that was, when I was like 14, I think it was like 20 years old. Almost. Or almost, yeah, I was like 16, 17 years old or something like that. It was an old porch light, right? And literally, we hadn't had it plugged in I don't know how many years, because we were like, it probably doesn't work anymore. So we've left it unplugged. Well, 13 or 14, I look at the cord and I'm like, I'm going to see if it works. Go to plug it in. Bright white light right in front of my face. And this surge of energy and a little bit of pain right through my whole arm. And you know, I did have knuckle hair at that time, just a little bit, that you could at least see if you did, you know, held it at eye level and looked. But that was soon gone. My knuckles were bald. I was like, oh. I mean, my dad saw that flash of light happen. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I feel energized." And my hand and arm were all twitchy with, you know, probably more so just pain and adrenaline. But I was like, oh, energy. And I was like, let's go, let's do something. I want to do something. I did. And one day, my dad and I thought we had the power to the entire house turned off because we were trying to rewire a light switch for our hallway light.
Keyword thought.
Yes, because my dad flipped all the switches. He thought he missed one. It was the main power. So I'm in there and I'm messing with the wires, trying to rewire it, right? I'm holding on to it too. I did not go, ah. I went, and I'm just holding it for probably about a good solid 45 seconds or so. And I'm just holding it going, oh, I'm being fried. And then I let go. And admittedly, I could smell what smelled like bacon. I was like, my fingers hurt just a little bit. But ever since then, there's been times where I have shocked myself accidentally, not just because we thought we did something, but because I touched something that was not supposed to be active, because some professional was like, it's deactivated. I don't trust you. I promise, it's deactivated. Look, see? Off. Fuck you. You know, and there was one time too, I was at my grandfather's. He was wiring up some little RC cars he makes out of balsa wood. He had some exposed wires, all that, you know, and they were active. Like he had them hooked up to a little car battery, you know. And I looked at it, and then my brain said, touch it. There was no reason to touch it. My brain just said, touch it. So I touched it. And the moment my one finger hit it, my body reacted with grab it and freak out. And I'm just holding it for a moment. I'm like, ah, interesting, tingly. And eventually I let go. I don't know, it's probably about like 25, 30 seconds or something like that. Nothing too long, but still enough to definitely be considered I'm a dumbass. I mean, for one, my brain told me to touch it. Because I knew it was connected to a battery, and yet my brain was like, touch it. Nobody try any of it at all, I swear to God. Well, here's an interesting thing, too. Okay, so, one day I was down there. I was, what was I? I was probably like 8.5 or something like that. Down visiting my grandfather in Joshua Tree. We visited one of my cousin's grandmothers who married into her family. And we were visiting her house, taking care of her animals while she was away in town and all that, you know, feeding her dogs and cats and feeding her goats. Well, I'm walking out and I'm, you know, racing my cousin, right? I don't know this because she didn't warn me. There is a little line of electric fence at the base of the gate on the very bottom, like about maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches above the ground. I'm running. My ankle makes contact. I trip and fall, face full of sand, swollen ankle. Like I twisted it as I fried it. That sucks, mind you. My ankle was nearly purple for 1.5 weeks. And a lot, like, especially Calvin and Oliver, wonder why I look at things and go, I know I can handle touching that. It's like, so, okay, so there was...
This explains a lot. This really explains a lot about you.
It does. It explains my energy, too. I'm supercharged with idiocy.
Something else.
Horniness is another factor,
And
but that's occasional.
And depression.
And caffeine.
Yeah.
A shitload of caffeine. But no, oh shit, what was what was I gonna say?
Them being you telling only that you can handle shit.
Oh yeah, so there was a channel on YouTube. Many will know what it was. I'm not gonna name it because, well, that's not respectful to what that channel was. The channel lasted a year, and it was run by Markiplier and Ethan from Crank Gameplays. There was a point in that where Mark was like, I want to get tased to see how it feels, because he wants to test his pain threshold, not his masochism. He denies masochism. I'm kind of in the same boat as he is, though, because I want to, sometimes I think about it, and I'm like, I just want to get tased, just to know how long I can last and what it feels like. Sometimes I'm also like, no, because that just requires pissing us like a cop off or something, or some random person who's got this self-defense kit in their fanny pack or purse or something, or just like straight up just crazy.
I know where to get a taser.
So do I. I can also buy a cattle prod off fucking Amazon.
Yeah, but I know where we can just go like 30 minutes away and get your taser, no problem.
You mean your house?
No, my house is closer than that. And besides, tasers are 100% effective 50% of the time.
Right. Well, I mean, if I absolutely wanted to, too, I could literally pay my godfather $30 and he'll do it. Because as a cop, he's got one.
The $30 is just for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why he'll only do it for $30 is because the rest of the payment is the enjoyment of watching my ass piss myself. That's the rest of his payment, getting to laugh at an idiot. So, yeah, no, that's some of what my life has been like, though. Literally like, pain, let's go. So, I mean, hell, fucking about sometime last month, I literally out of nowhere was like, I'm gonna slap myself. So I slapped myself hard, not just like, tap, tap. It was more like full on, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna just hit myself as though I'm somebody else. And I took my arm, ranged it out as far as I could with a nice bend in it, and just straight up like full on across my face. And I was like, interesting, try the other side. And it's worse because I have rings, so there's that little bit of metal that's gonna make contact, right? So I literally just kept going. Finally I'm like, fist, bam, hit myself right across the cheekbone here. And it made contact. I scraped myself. I was bruised. And I was like, that wasn't too bad. So, yeah. If you ever wonder about why I think I can handle some things, or why I sometimes think, I don't care if you're going to try to kick my ass, I will stand my ground, there's a reason. I know what I can handle for the most part. I just haven't tested everything.
I'm waiting for the yet.
Oh, shit.
Like, I just did. Yet.
Well, you never know. I got time. I'm not going to say how long because I can't guarantee I have that long.
You're gonna try and test everything.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe one day you might see if I decide to test out how resilient I am against a fucking car on a highway. If I do...
Don't try anything you hear.
Yeah, Hunter's gonna be the rational one. I'm the dumbass that says all the fun stories from his life.
Yeah.
Oh. So, yeah, no, I've done some stupid shit. I mean, hell, I told you about when I fell through my back porch overhang, right?
Oh god.
Yeah, literally. My dad and I, because we're trying to prep for when it was going to rain, right? And it was supposed to be a heavy rain, possibility of snow, and this was a few years ago, or a couple years, something like that. we're putting a tarp on the roof. We're trying to nail it down and spread it out, right? So I'm walking backwards because for some reason that's a good idea on a roof. I'm walking backwards, dragging the tarp out. My dad's currently trying to unfold the tarp, so he's under tarp, sees nothing but tarp and darkness. I'm walking backwards. My feet feel contact with something for 0.25 seconds. Literally, I feel my foot drop, my other foot drop, and me go with. And I let go of the tarp. There's this calm moment of, damn. I could see the face of death literally looking at me and pointing at me as I fell. And here's why. That back porch was no longer connected to the house. It dropped and was held up vertically on one end, but the end that was close against the house was on the ground. We had a closet type armoire cabinet thing on there, all glass door. Like, there was wood frame, but it was all glass door with glass windows on the sides, so you could look at little things that you put in there and all that, right? We also had a bunch of stuff that was like scrap metal and all that, so it was rusty, jagged, all sorts of messed up. There was even a little bit of barbed wire, I think. I can't remember exactly, but that was a little further away anyways. Nothing too close to me. But I fell down and I blinked. And then I looked down and there's this jagged, broken glass, nails, and jagged boards pointing upwards into my torso. Like, I've got glass poking my stomach, nails and whatnot all against my legs, my sides, everywhere, right? I should have been at least more hurt than I was. I walked out of it. I barely had a skint knee. Like, you could see there was a little bit of like scrape. Like, if you were to take your fingernails and scrape your knee really fairly hard, you know, just a good like scratch, and you see that little bit of like skin kind of scrape off and all that, that's about as bad as it was. I survived that, even though I should have at least been somewhat harmed, more so than I was. Like, I should have had a few cuts or stabs from nails. I should have had a nail in my foot.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like.
That's dumb luck.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like. That might be. It's equal or better than when I flipped my car. Because I fucking totally flipped back over front, landed on the roof in a ditch next to the road. Glass fucking everywhere. I literally just had some cuts on me.
Right?
Yeah.
You came out of a car wreck with just some cuts. I came out of falling through roof, glass, and nails and barely had a skint knee.
Oh, and I had a massive fucking wood table in the back right behind my seat.
Ooh,
Like,
nice.
My back seats were down.
Yep.
The table took up the entire back.
Jesus.
And just with the car stopping, back up.
See, you and I are the two people that are probably destined to try to outdo each other on surviving stupid shit without trying to outdo each other. Because things are going to just happen to us, and I'm going to be like, oh, this happened to me yesterday. And you'll be like, haha, wait a while. And Destiny's going to be like, hey, look, another car accident. Get fucked. And you're going to fly. You're going to be like, yeah, I was probably about 30 feet in the air. Semi T-boned me as I was flipping. I came out with barely a scrape. And I'm going to be like, I was nearly shot. Bullshit. If you're not shot and come out all right, what are you even doing? I don't know. We're those two people that are destined for that BS.
50 cents in it, like,
Yeah, seriously. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things of like, really, you shouldn't try it? But you've never lived until this stuff has happened to you, dude. That might explain why also everyday life now is just boring as hell.
honestly, that makes a lot of sense.
every day I go through and it's like, God, I'm just bored. And then my brain's like, what if this dumb BS happened? Like somebody just walked in the best gas and was like, give me all your money, I got a gun. Hop the counter. Because I know I would, because in my brain it's either you're gonna die and get your wish, or life's no longer gonna be boring. Either way, we're doing it. Yeah. This the title of this video will straight up probably be "Don't try any of it at home," or "Don't follow our lead."
Speaking of getting out unscathed, luckily, when I was a little kid, I got ran over by a horse.
I've been there.
Full-grown horse at my house.
Yep.
My mom's boyfriend at the time brought me out into the pasture, into the center of the part that they were gonna let the horses out to.
Right.
And they let the horses out. I was freaked the fuck out. And because they just start running the perimeter of it. They like fucking fast. And,
They made way.
And they're like, just stand still, just stand like a tree. They won't bother you. They won't come for you. And then I'm fucking freaking out. Eventually, I just can't take it anymore. And I fucking book it. I book it, trying to get out of the fucking pasture the way I came in, just straight for the fence. Well, guess what happened?
They trampled your ass. No?
Kind of. Well, what happened was,
No, kind of.
They had already started. They had made their way around.
Yeah.
It was almost a full lap from where they were let in and where I was trying to get out. It was almost a full lap of the.
Yeah.
I was running,
Right.
and right before I get out, I trip and I fall face first.
Ooh.
Boom, hit the ground, and the fence is like right in front of me.
Yeah.
I roll over onto my back, pretty much kind of like just like shit.
Right.
and
Right.
Just instinctually just kind of tossed on my back. I could see the horse go over top of me and feel the hooves go right next to my body.
You were so close to getting
Yeah.
screwed.
It was right over here.
See,
And ran out.
I've been in a very similar situation before, though. So I've got a neighbor who owns a lot of horses. She's owned horses for many years. Now, when my grandpa was around and lived with us, he was good friends with her, and he helped her like take care of horses and all that when she wasn't home. So one day, though, she was there, and he brought me over, and they had this really nice white horse with long hair. I mean, like fluffy pony hair that was like bury your hand hair. But it was an adult horse, you know?
I like this hair on its body.
Just the hair on its body was long, snow white, and fluffy as hell. You could hardly sit on that thing without feeling like you were sitting on like a really small beanbag that was trying to fluff you off. Because every little movement was slick. Yeah, it was very slick movement sitting on that thing. And they didn't have a saddle on it at the time because they figured, well, with my grandpa just walking the horse along and me on it, I should be more fine holding onto the mane and leaning in close against it, you know, like leaning against its mane and all that in its back. So I did that. Well, he was walking it along. He tried to keep it under control because her daughter's dog scared the crap out of the horse because it barked out of nowhere at it. Horse freaked out, started bucking and jumping and running. My grandfather, he could not keep that horse under control. Horse took off, I'm bucked off, and I'm on the ground watching it buck and kick still because he's trying to rein it in. I'm under this. I am not squished. I didn't get kicked, but I was probably about like that close either side. You know, like not even an inch close probably. Dude, it was horrifying as a kid, dude. Watching this big, fluffy, sweet-looking thing nearly kill you? Yeah, that's gonna make you go, I don't want to get on the horse ever again. And it took some time before I could even go to the fair and get on one of those damn horses on those little merry-go-round type of shit where it's all just tied to a pole. Yeah,
Oh, no,
like a
they're
real
really
horse,
tied
but
to
it's
the
just
thing.
tied to the pole in the center, and they just little ponies basically. It took a long while for me to be okay with getting on one of those, but like shit was scary. Like I nearly died to a horse if I moved just a little. But she had to come in, drag me away, so he could just let it go and it go off. You know, friggin', I've had that. I've also nearly drowned a few times, over and over. But here I am. Yeah, we're the two idiots that survive what we shouldn't survive, and then for some reason are destined to outdo each other without trying.
Yeah, outdo each other with accidents.
Yeah. Nobody tries shit at home or anywhere.
Don't try any of the stuff you hear today at home.
Or, you know, if you're like, well, what if I tried it in the desert or tried it at somebody else's home? Don't! Fucking don't! Okay, he's gonna say it. Yeah, don't try in your life any of this unless you are a professional in some of this shit. Like, you know, a professional electrician.
Still don't try it.
Yeah, you shouldn't try, like, frying yourself. But if you're a professional electrician, you're bound to have one little mishap and spark yourself. Just don't hold on. Please.
You do know though that with like electrical shit, when you get like electrically shocked,
Yeah.
the reason that your body will like just
Grab on is because it tenses all the nerves.
yeah,
it closes it
muscles
off.
Literally contract
Yeah.
due to electricity.
Well, yeah.
So when the electricity flows through your muscles, it makes it contract, and these muscles, the grabby ones,
Right.
are stronger than these muscles.
However-
the grabby ones.
However, when I touched that thing that was connected to the car battery, my first thought was pull away, and I started to, but here's the thing. So usually I get shocked or something like that, I can yank away. Something inside of me still said grab on though.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah,
because
that
I was
one was
involuntarily grabbing it on. It was more like touch and then grabbed on because I only used one finger.
Yeah, that one was you.
That's
That was
totally
my
me.
fault.
Now, however, grabbing the wires when doing the wiring, yes, I can't let go because it's like I'm already grasping onto them
Yeah, it
to
goes
try to
through
twist them.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm closed on. The car battery incident, though, was bullshit.
What for everyone listening?
Please don't.
Don't fuck with electricity.
Unless it's off.
Don't fuck with electricity. You can fuck with wires that definitely do not have electricity in them.
Unless it's like, you know, equivalent of like getting static shock from your car. Because that can be a little bit of residual
Well, that was wires
electricity.
either.
It's not that bad, right?
It only takes one little surge. So,
As long as it doesn't equal your heart rate, you're fine. Matching your heart rate, it can go a little bit over or below your heart rate, but if it matches your heart rate, you're fucked.
I'm pretty sure if it just is way too fucking much, it will.
Well, yeah, if it's way too much, it's gonna fucking kill you, but like, you know, holding onto those wires in my hallway, it didn't go above my heart. Well, it went above my heart rate, but it didn't go too far above. You can go above, you can go below, but you can't equal or go, you know, Jurassic Park electric fence.
Yeah. Exactly.
So just keep that in mind, everybody. You get shocked. If it goes above your heart rate, you're fine. You're gonna hurt, but you're gonna live.
Far above.
Yeah, just don't go too far above. You can go a little bit above, you know, just not a lot.
How about you don't go? Not you, but how about listeners don't go anywhere with any electricity around their heart rate at all, or far away from it.
Yeah.
Just how about that?
Yeah, no, definitely don't, because I don't want to be sued because I can afford it. I can't afford that. I work at a gas station. There's no way I'm affording that shit. I can't afford being sued over a fucking lollipop.
That open sign right there, the neon.
Yeah.
There's something in it that I don't remember if it amps up or amps down the electricity that comes in. I want to say it amps it up.
I think it depends on the coloration that you're going to get.
There's red and there's blue.
Yeah. I
That was
think.
more the gases on the inside.
I don't know anymore.
But there's something in it. Basically, those like neon open signs.
Yeah.
Fucking dangerous.
Well, yeah.
electrical levels.
Yeah.
They can fucking kill you.
That was a warning on how it's made,
Yeah.
dude, when they were doing how it's made. Neon signs.
Yeah.
That was a big fat warning they applied when showing a guy starting to make it.
Yeah.
Was these are dangerous.
My mom was standing on a plastic chair a long ways above the ground.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why she only sustained the damage that she did. And she was fucking with a cord that was coming out of the box that seemed to be like frayed and like exposed.
Right.
While it was on, she didn't even touch the wire, and it jumped to her fingers, burned the fuck, like fried her fingers.
Damn.
Where she was like, "Toosh," and like sent back a little bit, and her fingers were fucking burned. Like she could.
Oh, man.
It was tingling all up. Her arm.
God.
But because she was on that fucking plastic chair way above
Right.
the ground, like it didn't go through her whole body. It just went
Right.
to her fingers and then out.
Oh, yeah.
But that shit fucking.
Yeah, no,
that is a
that
lot,
kind of stuff
yeah.
is scary.
That had gone through her.
Yeah, she
Right
probably
now.
wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Or if she was, she'd be sitting in the corner going, Hunter, do what I tell you. Do the things I used to do. And then you'd learn how to do everything. No. You'd be like, sorry, due to unstable employees, me. No, we're closed. Sorry, I'm not killing anybody today.
Mental instability.
Yeah.
We're gonna protect people.
Yep. Sometimes I wish I could do that at work. God, just say,
Like-
sorry, we're closed. I might kill you.
Closed due to mental instability.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Fucking 60-year-old guy. I know he's 60 because I checked his ID because my boss was there and she was like, don't forget to check his ID. I know he's old enough, but still check. All right. So I checked. Yeah, he's 60 years old. And then he comes back and he wants to fill up in gas. This is back to the idiocy bullshit. Dude's like, fill it up. I need a price amount or a gallon amount. I don't know. Sir.
What's that guy?
Is
The idiocy one.
No, it's a
Different
different guy.
guy.
Because, you know, they're so prominent.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots everywhere. I'm sorry. And if you're one of those people, learn. But, literally, he looks at me, he gives me this look of like, I should know what exactly he needs. And he's bitching and bitching. I'm looking out there, I'm like, I see 2 gas cans. And he doesn't know, and, you know, he's not, like, pulled up to where his gas tank is on the correct side, you know?
So he's just getting gas in the gas tank.
Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, you have 2 gas cans, both roughly 5 gallons. So 5 gallons, 5 gallons, 25, 5 and 5, 25. We'll do 51 because change. So I did 51. He's like, I don't think that's going to be enough. He's like, you only, and then he paid for it, and he's like, well, you only charged me, you know, 51, so we'll see how that does. Comes back in, let's do another 45. Next thing I know, I see 3 more gas cans that he's pulled out from underneath a burlap tarp, or burlap covering. I don't know this, and he acts like I'm supposed to? No. I'm sorry, sir, but I don't check your stuff. This is not a gas station check-in. You know, it's not like I'm TSA at a damn airport checking your luggage or anything and making sure you don't have any bombs or anything like that. If you were, I guarantee you, we're already an established bomb sitting right there. We're a gas station. We may not blow up, but we go up. So, you know, it's just, oh my God. It's amazing. I really was hitting a point where after a while, customers, some of my regulars that actually appreciate and like me were cautious of me because they could see how frustrated and pissed off I was getting. I mean, literally, I had a guy bitching me out for, I don't even remember what now, because my brain overrided it with looking at this one guy behind him, looking at me going, I am sorry for you. Like, he had that look of like, oh shit, and then it shifted to, oh no, like, you look like you're about to kill him. And he approached me, 20 on 5, and walked away. Thank you. Yep, no problem. Have a great day. You know, I put the money in there and I'm acting all right, all fine and dandy, but everybody else knows I can snap. And I was about to. And that's when the day started to really go slow. Right when I texted you about being slow, that's when it started to get really slow because I was getting so bent out of shape. I'm like, I'm going to hurt someone. I need to walk away and do stuff. And there was nothing left to do because everybody did everything. And it's like, what do I do? Just wander? Sure, I'll wander. So I started to wander the store. And my supervisor, she was like, what you doing? Wandering. I have nothing left to do other than stay at that register.
They call me the
Careful. But no, and she looked at me and she's like, all right, well, because we have nothing left for you to do, I guess. Yeah, okay. She's like, just make it look like you're busy. So I looked like I was facing stuff and pulling stuff forward, you know, and looked like I was checking dates. Oh, yeah. Because I was like, I'm bored. So, yeah, it was one of those days, definitely. Holy crap. Jeez. Yeah. Good for you for having a nice day. Slow, I don't like slow. I mean, if business is slow, but the day goes by quickly, because I have shit to do, that's great. I'm okay with that. I just hate it when I have nothing to do and the day goes slow at the same time.
Yeah, when I have nothing to do and the day is going slow, I just read shit on my phone.
Right. See, I have to be careful about that.
Yeah, you have like security cameras. Like, my boss will chill with it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Admittedly, I did spend some time today dicking around with our printer at work. I literally detached it from our cash register and plugged it into my laptop. And my laptop was like, yeah, we're connected. Go to print. Nope. Can't do it. Why not? Because we don't read that you have a printer connected at all in any sort of way via Wi-Fi or cable. You just remembered, didn't you? Yeah, so did I. Literally, I'm talking about printer, and I was like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm just going to keep going about my conversation. We forgot. Yeah. Oh, well. So, yeah. No, that was how I spent some of my time, was just trying to get it to work. Eventually, it didn't work. And I was like, I wonder how screwed up the printer is now. Is it going to print if I just reconnect it, plug it back in? Because I had messed with settings on the printer itself, not just unplugged it. Plugged it back into the cash register, tested by printing a safe drop report. Yep, worked just fine. I'm like, cool. Fuck you, computer. Because my laptop was like, we are connected to one, but it's not there.
The first thing that I thought of, that you reminded me of, we have a printer that we're not actually using. Do you want it?
That you're not using?
Yeah.
How do you guys not use a printer?
Well, we got a printer that was going to be used for edible ink, but it didn't work.
Ah.
So, yeah, it's just been sitting in the
And it's just a regular ass printer?
I think it's just a regular ass printer. Interested?
Sure.
Cool.
We had,
That's how you make a deal, everyone.
right? Yeah, we had one at the house. Nice, you know. Sorry about that. Bump the mic. We had a nice enough like HP printer that was more so Wi-Fi based, but eventually, you know, I couldn't use it because it was one that you had a CD drive, or you had to have a CD drive on your laptop. So you had to plug the CD in to essentially install a program that allowed you to use the printer. But that program is only available through the CD rather than any online store. Yeah, so that's kind of a big flaw. So it's been a useless printer for the most part. Even with my like desktop, I went to try. Okay, it worked for a little while. It's all askew. Let me fix that. Never mind. I fucked it more. And I broke the printer. To where it now will try, and I say try because it doesn't have that much ink, to print an entirely black page. It will literally just go with the ink. I just spit. Yeah, I know. I saw it come out, and I'm like, ah, damn. So, but yeah, no, it literally just will smear ink on the entire page, and it's like, cool, finger paint. So, were I to have the personal energy to do so, I admittedly would take that, go to the dump, and just be like, yeely dee, and toss it. But I haven't. I've had opportunities to go, but I've said, no, I got important shit. Important. Literally, Persona 5, I gotta play that. Well, then there's editing these. I have had to do that, and then I've been working on, like our campaign and such too. So, well, working on. I don't write anything anymore. I used to write notes. Used to. No, I don't. It's just a matter of like, I'm gonna leave it to the internal GM to GM me so I can GM them better. Which I'm still impressed by myself on that, because it's like, I'm gonna break myself and create an internal personality that's so separate from me that I don't even know it's thinking. Hey, look, that seemed to work.
And then you check the logic behind it, and it's like, holy fuck, it's accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah. No, that's... Yeah, I could have time for other things, but I don't. I prioritize the useless crap. So, it's only been 50 minutes. What the shite?
I say 15, and I'm like, fuck you.
You're like, no, it hasn't. You're like, the sun has changed position. I know. I calculated. And I wouldn't put it past you.
Yeah, honestly, I did feel like that. I'm like, that shadow was just below, about like 2 inches below that corner of that. It is now 3 inches above that. The sun has moved. Fuck you.
Yeah. You're the type of person that would do that during your shift and be like, look, I know it's close to closing time. Why? Look at the shadows.
Look at the shadows of the walls. Yeah.
See, astronomy and shit like that, you could easily do on a pirate ship. How come you didn't really try in the campaign?
Not me.
Learn how to transfer yourself to your characters.
Hey,
Or your characters to yourself.
I bet you I could tie a knot in real life. I cannot fucking rope works with that one character. No matter what.
How funny would it be if you were to find out, though, it would take you 8 months worth of practice to really learn proper boat knots and shit? How much would that suck for you? I mean, you'd be able to learn it, but like, right? But yeah, but like, it would kind of suck because you'd be like, it's probably easier than it looks. Okay, it took me 8 months. I still learned how to do it. Therefore, I know. Does your character, though? No.
Yeah, it's not like picking locks, bro.
Yeah.
Picking locks is
It's not something you could just quickly pick up.
Yeah. Well, picking locks is not something you can quickly pick up.
No, rope works isn't. Picking locks, technically yes, but it depends on your mental capacity as well. If you have a high mental capacity and you can already are sensitive to like movement, sounds, and all that, it's not super I mean, it's still difficult, but it's not like nigh impossible for somebody like me, because it is for me. I could never.
Well, I could learn a lot of fucking rope works very fucking quickly, I'd say. If I literally just had a fucking giant ass piece of rope and was just learning like all the fucking knots and shit, I could
Yeah.
do it if it was like, oh, let's do this.
Now it's a matter of would you be able to do it really fucking quickly, like you were on a boat. You could learn the
I can do it
knots,
faster than 8 months. I can guarantee that.
right?
I
But
can, like,
could you be able to tie the knot faster than you can just sitting there?
oh, like if I was standing on the boat?
Yeah, if you were standing on the boat and the captain was like, you have 5 seconds to be able to get that knot done.
Well, that's where the repetition comes, bro. You do the repetition sitting there over and over
Right.
and over again, and then when it's like, oh fuck, you're like,
Hopefully your brain doesn't like end up having that moment of panic though, like most people would, because most people would have that moment of like, oh god, I gotta do it. Hopefully you can at least train yourself better to be like, calm, done, woo, rather than be like, ah. 5 seconds passed. There comes the wave.
It's a very interesting sweet spot with like panic for me. So like calm, chill, I can
Yeah.
do shit, no problem. And then like little like annoyances and shit, a little,
Yeah.
little higher heart rate.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, don't fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
It can be alright when it's really like, don't fuck up, bitch. And then it's like, son of a bitch. And I'm
Yeah.
caught off guard.
Uh-huh.
But then if there is like fuck tons of pressure coming down, I'm like,
Yeah.
my
It's
brain works it.
things like that for a lot of people definitely are tricky to even learn how to do.
It's just this one little spot where it's like, oh, don't fuck up in front of other people. You don't
Right.
You don't want to fuck up in front of other
Yeah.
people. That's when I fuck up, and that's all
Yeah,
I fuck
and
up.
for some of us that's a
When there's more
bigger
pressure
spot.
than that, I'm fine. When there's less pressure, I'm fine.
Right.
That,
Yeah, see, for some of us, like myself, there's that, but it's a bigger spot. 0 to 100. Let's take up 50. Like, I can do things without messing up at work, so long as no one's really watching. Customers are one thing, because they can't see what I'm doing on the screen. However, if somebody stands next to me or near me, or at least in that square in general, something's going wrong.
yeah.
And it's horrible. I hate it. It makes me kick myself in my teeth.
I have a little like 3 to 5% window of like stress where it's like that's when I fuck up.
Yeah.
Most
See,
people are like 40 probably.
yeah, see, I have moments at work too where I'm also doing something and out of nowhere, it's not what I expected. Because there's times where there's nobody in there. I've got a pen about like 10 feet away as a little like pen holder, about, probably about like a cookie size in diameter, right? Straight up, literally one day without looking, here's where it got impressive for me. It's one of those clicky pens. I threw it without aiming, right? I was just like, that way. It flips, click, bounce in the canister. I was like, ooh, I did something cool. And I looked up at the camera. Tell me you got that. And, I never got confirmation because my boss ain't that cool. But, I was like, look, it's on cameras. Somebody was bound to have seen it, or at least it's recorded. So I'm okay with that, even if it never gets out there. It's known. But to have done that was impressive to myself. Just the fact that it bounced, clicked, open, and into the canister. It's like, click, bounce, done.
That's fucking cool when shit like that happens.
Yeah. I used to be pretty good, though, that when I was working at Holiday, when stocking up on, like, aisle 16 for, like, all the sodas, juice, and all that, I'd have the U-boat on the other, like, side of the aisle. Not the other end, but the other side, against, like, the chips and all that. Open the door, click it open, all that, right? Walk over, just grab, flip out, catch, grab, flip in. I could flip it around a finger or two and place it, place. A soda, a juice, something. I could flip them. I could practically juggle drinks at the time, dude. I was like one of those movie bartenders that know all those fancy ass like flippy tricks. And I was able to stock them without them being upside down, dented, without dropping them at all. Like, dude, it was great when I was able to do that because I was used to it with how much repetition I had of it. I got comfortable with it. Literally no one else was able to do anything like that, especially as quickly. The gallon jugs of the crystal water, they come in a 6-pack, right? They would come in a 6-pack either in a cardboard box or plastic. Well, at the new Holiday, they were mostly in a plastic wrap. I'd cut that, I'd line them up along the shelf where they were supposed to go. I'd have the exact amount counted out I needed. So I'd cut open the plastic, rip it down, grab 4 at a time, and just... And it was just the most quick movement of putting those up most anybody else that worked there was capable of doing. Everybody else, grab one, place. I'm sorry. Can you move faster? I'm moving a comfortable pace. No, you're moving turtle speed. Let me go. I miss, honestly, the amount of repetition I had from production stuff because I was good at it. I was quick at it. I felt impressive when I could flip sodas around a finger and place it. I'm sorry, not everybody can do that. You can't go to SPD and see somebody doing that shit unless he's practiced just juggling and has applied it to this. No, I just was like, oh, let me just fuck around. Oh, wow, I can do that. I mean, to, flip one, catch it, flip another, catch it, without dropping it. And when it's like cans of sodas, that's a little wider than your hand can normally just fit when you're, a small hand. But to catch them and not drop them, that's impressive. Yeah. I was the fastest at my job. I honestly miss it. That's the only aspect I miss about my old job was the comfort I had and the fact that it was half the shift check stand, half the shift production. I don't get to do that really anymore. I work at Best Gas doing register. I mean, I put up the cigarettes that are right next to me, or some of the liquor that's right behind me, or the little shots that are right next to me, or the 3 little coolers that are just by the door. I'm confined. I don't get to do as much. I even miss working at the Maidu location that the company owns, because down in Auburn, it was bigger. I had a chance to do more. And there were, I was able to just clean all the shelves that were there too, because it was easier, because I didn't have such a massive flow of people. I can't really do that here. And of course, taking all the liquor off the shelf behind the counter and trying to clean that, it's a bit sketchy because those shelves aren't the most stable. So, it's like scrub, you might knock everything. Whereas the ones up at Maidu were nailed to the wall and solid wood. They were, really stable. Not so much here.
Yeah. Hey, people like us, man, repetition and fucking doing that shit over and over to get comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I like repetition. I mean, admittedly, there are definitely things that repeat that I'm going, oh my God, just stop.
Every time someone walks in the door.
Yeah, pretty much. Just ding dong, stop. Ding dong, stop it. Ding dong, I'm gonna kill you. And I just want to say, too, I say that a lot. I'm gonna kill you. But I honestly don't even know why. I mean, I might lose my shit. I might cuss someone out. But maybe I say it as an emotional kill. Maybe I'll emotionally kill him. Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to think that that's the most it is. So, yeah. I don't know. It is nice, though, to be a part of a small community, working, in a place like this, or a grocery store, or a bakery, where you're used to seeing a lot of certain people, and you have so many regulars come in, and they can actually say, oh, you're my favorite, I love coming to see you, you're helpful.
There's a chick who comes in, older lady, and she's a little bit of walking chaos, but man, she is the sweetest lady. She's super nice. She's like, oh, Hunter, you're my buddy, and she's fucking said that I'm her buddy, and I'm picturing a certain woman. She's kind of small, hunched a little bit, skinny, kind of grayish, curlyish hair. Oh, okay. Okay. But no, this other one comes in, and seeing her just brightens my fucking day. Yeah. Because she's just like, oh hi, how's it going? Right. She's super nice, shit, and it's people like that was okay.
Yeah.
Through the day.
Yeah, I've got one person like that. I don't see her as much as my day would dictate I should. Well, because my day's like, it's shitty, but you should have that one person that comes in and makes your day better. But it never happens because, you know, when she's older, she doesn't come in that much. But she's a sweet older lady. Her name's Mary Jane. She's super sweet. And she was there. She saw me going through training and all that when I first started there. And the reason why I can remember her name is because the person who trained me, her name was Mary. So the person who comes in is named Mary Jane. That's pretty easy to remember. Yeah. Also, MJ, you know, name association and shit like that. But she's a sweet old lady. She comes in and she goes, "There he is. That's my boyfriend." And, you know, some people will be like, it's uncomfortable. But at the same, I'm one of those people, I'm definitely at a point, too, where it's like, I don't care. She's sweet. I love her. She's amazing. You know, and... yeah, she brightens my whole day. She's super sweet, caring. She's respectful, polite. Hell, one day, you know, she came in. The customer was giving me a little bit. She's like, "You leave my boyfriend alone." It threw the guy off, definitely. He was like, I'm like, "Sir, can you just please move along? I gotta help her." He's like, and he moved on. He just went about his day. He's like, okay. Like, probably. Saying that's my boyfriend. And this older woman in her, like, late 60s, early 70s, saying that will definitely throw a guy off when you're looking at somebody who looks like he's, like, in his early 20s or a little younger. It'll throw anybody off. But she's one of my favorites. I absolutely adore her. You know, she's just a sweet old lady. So... people like that definitely make the job worth it. Or at least the day, definitely. Sometimes the job, mostly the day.
The regulars you like, and then the sweet people, like, that gets you through the day.
Yeah.
Everyone else is, well, you can't fucking stand to be there.
Everybody else, get out.
Dude.
Like, if I could, I would make a list, a visual list even, that says, if you're not this person, or this person, don't come in. And just allowing certain people access, or giving them a VIP card. If you don't have a VIP card, you cannot come inside the store.
Like a little card reader thing like they have at
like
little rotation.
Yeah, or even like hotels with the on the bedroom door where you do ding ding. Yeah.
What is it? It's called Subway.
Yeah.
Like the actual
Subway. Yeah, where you
like
just
swipe
insert your
card
pass and all that. Yeah.
Swipe the card through and then
Yeah, you get to go on.
that shit like right in front of the door.
Right? If I could do that and just hand out little cards to the people I like,
Yeah.
and that balances out the flow, dude, people will be paying at the pump, except for those that are, you know, stuck at 5 or something like that.
Oh, what?
Well, the people that get stuck at like pump 5 or something, that doesn't allow them to pay at the pump. Well, too bad. You just have to wait till the next available pump because you don't have a VIP card.
Yeah.
Anybody else that I like, they get a VIP card. They get to come inside. They can pay with card, cash. They can buy snacks, drinks, whatever. They can talk to me. Everybody else, go away. It's like, yeah, I wish I could do that sometimes. I know I'd be fired, though, if I tried. So, yeah. Interesting days, though, man. Interesting days. So.
Should I have called back the other host?
I mean, you could have. It's not like it's a problem, really.
Let's see what he's up to.
Sure, let's call the other host. Let's call the good boy up.
Be cool with potentially having to edit out something if I have it on speakerphone, or do you not?
I mean, if you have him on speakerphone, we'll see how it plays out.
Okay, well, you're cool with editing it if it asks for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, as far as I can tell, this whole thing's recording just fine. Please, for the love of God, continue to record just fine.
So long as you're able to edit. Potentially.
Right.
Get a
Yes.
hold of him, though, 'cause
Right.
signals
Yeah.
and shit.
And whose fault is that?
Providers.
Damn straight it is, and it's your fault for choosing that provider.
My fault.
Damn straight. I blame you.
I didn't choose that.
You chose to be born into that provider.
I was born into fucking
please leave your message. Hell no.
Try that again.
Trying again.
If he doesn't pick up this time, I'll call his brother.
Yeah, admittedly, there's some definite points of like silence that I'm gonna definitely edit out too, probably.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
There were a few where it was like, I'm just looking at you, and it's like, quiet. What the fuck? So, like, waiting for dial. Eeky da
Not even
boogity.
fucking reaching it is the thing. It's just silently sitting on calling.
It's silently sitting on calling. How dare they?
Alright, what's brother's phone number?
I don't know. I don't know it by heart.
Me neither. I could have figured out his old one.
Yeah. Last I knew, he was getting shoes because he called me about shoes. So, no idea about that.
Your brother home? Your brother home yet?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering. So he's probably still
Why?
out. Cause didn't know if he was gonna stop by here or not.
Oh.
Anyways, I gotta go, but I can talk later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, George.
What the fuck? Bye.
I don't know what that last sound was.
That was his sister. Going
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? Get out of here. Mike Saints not. Huh?
It threw me off for a second. And I'm like, oh.
Well, yeah, I heard that and I was like, what? Who said something? Oh.
Yeah, normally she's like in her room, but if she's
Maybe
downstairs,
she could sense you.
doubt it.
Maybe she could
not
sense
good.
you being you. Yeah. I don't know. That was a bad joke. Fuck you. It's a joke, okay? Huh? Oh, the shitty employee? The female? Oh, yeah. Short blonde hair? Yeah, okay. I don't know. The other guy can be shitty at times. I mean, he's a nice guy. He does production work, but when you stick him at the register, he tends to have a lot of problems. Granted, the same could be said about Colin, apparently, because he's been messing up change back sometimes.
How do you mess up change back?
I don't know. Something tells me, though, customers are just saying they think they know.
Like they think that he's messing up their change?
Something, yeah, because someone said that he shorted her change. It tells him what he's supposed to give her.
Yeah.
And he can only give so much like physical like change, not like just bills, but change like coins, as far as what we actually have access to. So if we don't have like say 75 cents is due and we have a quarter, well, you have to use dimes at that point.
Yeah.
Or if it's like 87 cents and you have 1 penny left, okay, 86 cents is what they get.
Oh, okay.
You know, or round up. You either round up or round down to the nearest cent or whatever.
Normally you would round up for giving customers.
Right. However, it depends on the company policy.
Oh, yeah.
Because our supervisor and our manager said, like, either you round up or round down, depending on what your situation is on the change. So if it's like 86 cents, round up if you've got enough to make 90. But if you're starting to run low on that, round down to just 85. So it depends on our coinage situation. Like how much we have sitting in the drawer in the tub next to us.
Did you hear, probably didn't hear, when Colin was in town, he was looking to get a new phone, and his bill was randomly higher,
Yeah.
this month for his phone bill. And, so, he asked about it while he was in town. He went and asked the person, and, there's a different person than who he spoke to last time that was there.
Yeah.
The guy who's normally there when we go. But so he asked him, and he didn't know why there was just an extra like $24 charge to his phone bill this month.
Right, right.
And so he gets like a manager or supervisor, and he can't figure out why it is and he's like, no, I won't let it slide this time. That's not a good practice, bro.
Yeah, because
This is
what the
like,
fuck was that charge
supposed
from?
to, like, if that happens, you're supposed to give like double money back.
Yeah, because if they overcharge you
Yeah. Then,
and
like,
it's
the
not
next
something
month
you're
they
supposed to
don't-
pay for,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then and you bring it up, and then like, oh shit, either the next month they'll undercharge you that same amount,
Yeah, exactly.
and then it evens out,
Yeah.
or
Charged extra $24 next month, 24 less.
Yeah, either give you $24 or
Charge
you
less.
pay 24 less the next month.
Yeah.
Even out, and then go back to normal.
Exactly.
And he's like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll.
It's not fine.
Yeah.
It's just like how a lot of times my grandma and a lot of other people I've met, and this is sad, they will pay like either a past due or a bare minimum. Like if say there's a bill that's $300, but you can get by paying $120 or something like that, they tend to do that. Like my grandma does that too with our dish bill.
But then when the next bill comes,
It's going to be more.
yeah, it's gonna take that extra.
Exactly.
bill on that.
And here's the thing too. It also screws up your credit. Like your credit score also tends to go down as well,
Yeah, because you're not
paying the full thing.
paying your bills.
Yeah. It's like I go to pay the PG&E bill every month, right? And my grandma says, "Oh, you can just pay the past due." No, I'm not going to. One, I'd like to have nice credit because, I'd like to eventually get a car, get a house, house, more so apartment, or, one of those big old shipping containers and turn that into a house, room, whatever. But, yeah, but paying the bare minimum, it reflects on my credit score. It poorly, no less. I mean, I haven't checked what it is. I can check on my H&R Block app, see what my rough credit score would be. I can even ask my bank what my rough credit score would be. I haven't yet, but I can guarantee you it's better than my grandma's because she doesn't pay the full bill usually. Granted, she has trouble because she's got her own cleaning service. She doesn't work as much now because of Corona. And because other people are either moving out of state or they're just getting so old that they're going into homes. So it's like she doesn't really get to clean for them as much anymore. She doesn't clean for as many people. And with gas, it's really sucking the crap out of her account. So, yes, she's running low. But at the same time, she can ask my dad or I to help her. But she doesn't. She really just refuses to. She's like, no, I'll just pay the past due or I'll pay the minimum.
Oh, fine, it's cool.
Sure.
And then I'll put it in the bank.
So, but yeah, no, it's like, I don't know. My grandma has trouble doing that, and I can understand, comfort, but at the same time, my grandma drives almost 10 below the speed limit in places. Like, yesterday, I was going down into Auburn to get my taxes done. We're driving down. It's a 45 zone. My grandma is going 35. I don't feel comfortable going too fast here. Go 40. I'm telling her, I'm like, you're going 35. You're going to get pulled over by a cop. And if anything, you're going to get a ticket you can't afford.
Yeah.
I know she can't afford that.
You know why I pulled you over? Because I'm that good looking? It's because you're going too slow, dumbass.
Yeah. Literally, if my grandma did get pulled over and he asked, do you know why I pulled you over? I would lean in and go, because she's too slow. Give me the ticket. I can pay it. She can't.
Then he's like, why aren't you driving? You're like, I don't have my license.
I don't have my license, but I know how to drive. I just don't have it because I chose not to. But give me the ticket. I'll pay her fucking ticket. Because she doesn't have the money. She doesn't have the courage to just drive the normal limit. She's scared. Yes, Highway 49 is still labeled the most dangerous highway in the county. But I walk it every damn day. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I might cook a little bit in the sun, but, other than that, I'm actually fine.
I've almost crashed before.
That's on you.
It was, dude. And my brain was in like overdrive mode.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on in the car. And so
Yeah, never zone out when driving.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't
It's
know-
scary when
I
you
don't know
do.
if it's, like, zoning out or if it's, like, beyond zoning out.
Right.
Because it shuts down all of my, like, senses to where even when I, like, see, like, stuff moving in front of me,
Right.
I don't see anything.
Well, and
Or
here's
I don't hear anything.
now here's an interesting thing about like when I was driving when I had my permit. When I was driving, I kind of zoned out, but at the same time, I was still aware of everything.
Yeah.
Like I looked at everything,
Autopilot.
I was aware of everything, but at the same time, I could just be like, oh yeah, conversation, 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 you know.
Yeah.
And then there's Oliver.
Oh,
You haven't been in the car with him.
I haven't. I've heard you talk about it.
Right there, right in front. That's it. That's what he sees. I've been on a road trip with him to Lake Shasta with Calvin in the back seat. Dude can talk, yes, but he looks forward and that's all he sees. He doesn't really look around unless he's merging over into the next lane. Rear view side, merge. Excuse me, over shoulder, thank you. Nope.
Check your blind spots, bro.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's scary. I mean, I was sitting at the top by the mailboxes with my dad one day when Oliver was coming to pick me up, right? I was sitting there and I could see him starting to pull in. So I sit outside the window looking over the top of the car and I'm doing this, waving my arm back and forth, going, hey, hey, nice and loud. Right down to my gate. I'm like, dude doesn't see. I mean, there's times where I've gone in a 55 area and he's going 65. I'm sorry, you're going 10 over? Man, I can't win. I'm either sitting in a car that's going 35 or 65. Make up your fucking minds. It's either 10 under, 10 over. How do you want to die? Boredom or crash? I don't know. Can it be a bit of both? No. Let's go the speed limit. You go the speed limit.
I do.
I fucking appreciate that. I mean, yes, there's that little bit of me that walks fast, that sees the speed limit and goes, just a little faster. Like 1 mile, 2 miles faster. That's fine. Just pick it up. But at the same time, the logical me is like, just go the speed limit, dumbass. But it's a problem. There's me that's like, I just gotta go faster, just a little faster, move faster. I don't like going slow. What about the speed limit? Pushing it.
But like your pushing it is like my pushing it.
Yeah.
Not like other people's pushing it. Other people's pushing it is like 15 over.
Yeah.
Our pushing it is like 3 over.
3 to 4,
Yeah.
depending. Unless you're getting like further down to Auburn, just past, like getting closer towards like Target and all that, past where there used to be like the pumpkin patch and all that.
I swapped out a part of my car. Was going down the highway. Looked
Yeah.
down, and I'm like keeping with the flow of traffic.
Right.
Look down. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's all I'm gonna say. It was a speed that I've driven down that road once, and that was the
Right.
speed of when I was taking my dad to the ER.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
I immediately
see-
slowed down.
Yeah.
Because that replacing that part was like cars run smooth, and fucking everyone was just going that speed. I was like,
Yeah.
what the
Now, see, there was one point.
So I slowed down.
There was one point I was in the truck driving with my dad and all that, and we're stopped by the Dutch Brothers down in Auburn at the intersection by the technically 3 gas stations. Gas.
First light.
Yeah. And that's where it starts to shift into a 45 mile per hour zone, right? I'm sitting there, I'm waiting. Next thing I know, light turns green. I go, look down, almost 60. I'm like, the guy in front of me came real close. I'm like, oh shit, I should slow down. My dad's like, how fast were you going? 60. Please don't. Sorry. And we go just a little bit further. Highway patrol sitting right there waiting. Oh boy.
Boy.
Just, oh boy, I could have been arrested. Oh fuck. Yeah, I was right there. It's like, yeah, it's getting to a 45. I didn't notice the 45. 60.
I think my dad's dead. So, my grandpa.
Right, your granddaddy. Your granddaddy.
Anyways, he, his buddy, I think, had just got taken his car to the shop or something, and he went to pick it up.
Right.
And he's going down, or yeah, he's going down the road, and the speedometer was broken, and so he's just going. Feels like 45 or something. See the highway patrol car behind him light up. He's like, oh, okay, so he slows down, pulls off the side of the road, pulls off behind him,
Right.
gets out. You know how fast you're going? He's like, I don't know, 45, 50. Cop was 120. He's like, what?
He's like, wait a minute. My car can go that fast?
Yeah.
Hey, cop, want a raise?
Dude's car was so smooth compared to his car. He thought he was just going 45 or something.
Right.
And then it was 120.
Oh my God.
And he
Not
had
gonna
no
lie.
clue.
Yeah.
And he's not like a shit driver or anything.
Right.
Like, totally reasonable. Oh.
But when it's too smooth and you've got a broken speedometer, it's easy to lose track of how fast you're gonna go. Not gonna lie though, I'm one of those people that be like, I wanna just go on the Autobahn, stay on the Autobahn, and keep going back and forth as fast as I can go. Because part of me just wants to be like, and pick it, you know? Just eventually to the point where it's like, if I hit one little pebble, bye-bye. You know? Because the Autobahn is the straightest road without a speed limit. I want that, dude. I want to be on there and just go as fast as I can because, admittedly, again, that part of me that wants to go a little faster, especially when I walk, is like, just race, man. Just race. Go as fast as you can. 1, 2, and go.
That's probably a similar voice to the one that fucking tells me, like, you know, it's like the Blues Brothers, man. It started out, put on the sunglasses, drive. Not too bad. I hear. Anyways.
Right? Just like put your sunglasses on, drive at night, you'll be fine. No, I won't. Oh, man. See, sad thing is, I'm that one person that would wear sunglasses, have a cigarette, and legitimately go at night. With no fucking moon, especially. I'd be like, oh, there's no moon tonight. Let's go for a drive.
I would be in the car with you for that. If you were driving, no.
If I was driving, you would just be like, no, I'm not getting in with you.
Yeah.
No? Not even if I gave you $1,000.
Fuck no. I don't care how good of a driver you are, alright? I'm not entrusting my life to the fucking shit you get yourself into.
What if it's at least during the daytime? Will you trust
That would
me?
make sense. Yeah, if you're wearing sunglasses, like, okay.
What if we're getting closer to evening?
Maybe. If the sun's still out, yeah.
Okay.
It's dark out.
Full moon.
No.
Damn.
If there is no sun directly hitting the ground, no. I don't give a fuck if the moonlight is just the sun.
So does that include really cloudy ass days where you can't even see the sun?
You're wearing sunglasses. I'm a little sketch. But me.
What if they were basically readers with just some Sharpie gone over it? Because that is weaker than a damn pair of sunglasses.
Okay, there might be a little blotch of ink where there was a scratch. And you can't see it. It's possible. I'm not
Man.
my life to those odds.
I'm gonna figure out a way one of these days to just convince you to get in the car with me, and you're not gonna realize what the intention is. I'm gonna figure out a way to get that. Dude, you know what happened last session? I could do it. I could be that far ahead, possibly. Huh?
I was safe, and I agree.
You're never safe with me around because you're in trouble of getting just randomly bitch slapped by some nutcase. That's not safe.
It's safer than death.
You won't die, I promise.
There's a 0.1% chance. Fuck no.
There's not a 0.1. There's a 0.00000000000000000000001% chance.
It's a 0.01,
I know.
No.
It came after all those zeros, though, dude.
God.
It's so far not a chance that you can't tell.
It's like 0.0000000000000000000 300 more zeros.
There it goes.
I
I just realized my computer died.
Oh. Then fuck. We still got this. 0.000000100% chance.
Yeah, but however.
No, there were over 300 zeros right before that. Ignore the fact that it was 100%, but there was 300 zeros before that. It came after all those zeros. You kidding me? That's the power of zero, bitch.
Ah, you're such a coward. Live a little, dude, like I have in my life.
No. I have enough live for risky shit.
You've only had, what, 2 accidents? Or 1 accident, 1 near accident?
What are you talking about? Oh. Not if you ask Colin. Like, first fucking, what was it, month or, like, early when I was driving. Fucking pulling out of Save Mart.
Right.
Parking lot, turning left, and that place has been sketched for me for so long. But like my timing like wasn't like good,
Yeah.
and him and his brother like they keep fucking saying like we almost crashed that day. We almost crashed that. I don't know about almost crashed. Like maybe, but like. I don't know. I don't remember it that well. They're like, we almost crashed. I've crashed. I've almost crashed. I have been in situations where I could have crashed if things had been different. But, you know.
See,
I forgot where I was going with this.
live! That's where you're going!
No, I'm good.
You need to live, dude. Follow the lead of the guy who has fried himself several times.
No, I'm good. I like my brain the way it is.
It will stay in there. It just might be a little scared from driving.
Yeah.
You might
I
never
don't
want to
want
get
a
in the
toasty
car
brain.
again.
I don't want a toasty brain. Dude.
You won't have a toasty brain. You'll just hit a point where you just don't want to get into a car ever again.
Dude, after my car accident, alright, Dad got me a car just like it, but it
Right.
ran like
Yeah.
it was shittier. I get in it. I'm going, and you know I get from his house to the freeway, no problems. As soon as I get on the freeway and start going like I pick up to a speed faster
Right.
than all the roads to his house. Get on the freeway, and as I get on where it merges, there's a little like bump thing, and because of something up with the fucking car, it fucking like sways and like rocks and shit.
Yeah.
Super fucking similar feeling to when you're fishtailing like I did when I flipped my car. And this was the first time I had driven that kind of car after the last time, which was that flip. So that exact feeling, I was like, motherfucker.
See, now
And
that's
it freaked
exhilarating.
me the fuck out.
That's exhilarating.
That freaked me the fuck out. And I was like, what the
Right.
fuck,
Well,
dude?
it's like my dad's told me the story. He was driving down Wolf Road. He had gone
Yeah.
down that way, and this was like before I was born, I think. But he was driving down that way. He was in a shitty car, kind of, right? Dude, he almost hit. Like there was this guy that was coming, so he couldn't see very well or something, and he almost hit a post, like a fence post. He wound up swerving so bad he could see his own headlights.
Holy- what?
It's possible. Yeah, there are so many stories. People swerve and spin out so bad they see their own headlights. It's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
There are so
Seeing
many
their own
people that
headlights.
talk about seeing their own headlights when you're spinning out that hard. You can spin out so hard, you can see your own headlights.
That's weird.
It's fucking crazy. I want to try it one day.
Fucking course you do.
Like,
Of
when my
course.
dad told me that, the first time he told me that, I'm like, wow, I'm glad you're okay. But then I kept remembering that. My brain kept it in its, in its file location. And it's like, well, I'm going to try. And to this day, it's like, I still want to try. I get behind the wheel and my brain's like, spin out hard. No, somebody's in the car with me. If I was alone, I guarantee you'd hear a story about me stealing my dad's truck and just going down the same fucking road and just hitting a point at night where it's like, and just come out and go, woohoo! Because I will come back to you and I'll be like, I did it, I saw him. Want to go on a ride?
No.
Because, yeah, that's the truth. I'm one of those people that might be considered an adrenaline junkie. But not all the time. Just some other time on stupid occasions. And I say stupid because it's my brain going, hey, what if we did this?
There's one cool thing about having flipped your car and landed on the roof.
You have a fucking story?
Well, other than that,
You can be a badass who survived?
that's similar to the story thing. But no, you get the feeling of what it's like to hang upside down from a seatbelt. Like,
Yeah.
part of me had always been like,
Curious?
I wonder what that would feel like. And I like kind of tried to simulate it in my head, and it's just like, I wonder what it'd be like. When I flipped and poof, I landed on the roof. For a second, like, first thing was, is anything coming towards me? Is anything gonna kill me this moment by falling on me? No, and like, alright, and then my brain was like, way in the back, there's a little thing like, this is the feeling of hanging upside down by a seatbelt, bro, remember this, woo! And I still remember that feeling.
So this
and
is-
then click.
This is something I haven't really told anybody because, well, I've tried not to really tell anybody. But on the topic of hanging, and all that, and big fat ass disclaimer, and I'm serious on this one, definitely serious.
Oh, he's
This-
serious on this one.
This may actually trigger a few people. If this kind of thing will trigger you, please. If you are triggered by like suicidal ideas, thoughts, or anything like that, please just step away for a moment, because this was by far the stupidest thing I've actually attempted. I literally one day actually tried to see how long I could survive by hanging.
Like, from your
Hanging.
throat. Oh my god.
I had a rope. I tried hanging myself. But I tried to see if I could tense my neck enough to just maintain a breathable capability, even if it was strained. I lasted for a little while. I don't know how long, but I lasted for a little while. It felt like maybe 5 minutes, but it was probably more like 1.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's it.
But the fact, though, that I tried that, first off, massive stupid idea, but also I learned that I was able to do that. And afterwards, I got this sense of like, oh, bring shit on. And it's sad that, that kind of got me to a point of like, yeah, I survived. I can survive at least a little while. But yeah, that is by far the stupidest shit I've ever done in my life, is attempted to hang myself and try to see how long I could survive it. So, yeah, again though, please, anybody that has suicidal thoughts, tendencies, all that, please do not ever think of trying that. I cannot stress that enough. Shocking yourself due to stupid shit, I can't say necessarily as seriously don't do it, because you're bound to do something
Don't
that
try.
will fuck it up.
Don't try to make toast in the bathtub, dude.
Yeah, don't try that.
Don't.
Now, if you're trying to rewire something in your house and you manage to fucking forget a switch, okay, you forgot a switch. That's just a mistake. I can't
You're
say
dead,
don't.
though.
Well, yeah, hopefully you're not.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully you don't ever die.
Yeah, hopefully you don't die from it.
Hopefully you become immortal. But,
But, like, if anything, don't not try to rewire things or anything like that. Just be careful about what you're doing.
how about you do not try to rewire shit in your house?
How are you gonna actually fucking learn and save some fucking money?
You take the ag mech class
Nope.
in high school.
YouTube! We've talked about this
Yeah.
before.
I
YouTube
know.
has fucking everything.
But with look, to everyone out there, be fucking careful around electricity.
Well,
Treat
no,
that
I'm
shit
not-
with major amounts
Yeah,
of
no, I'm
respect.
not
This
saying
fucker has
don't.
been stupid and shocked himself repeatedly a lot of times.
take it from me, someone who has barely ever been fucking shocked and has worked with electricity and is like the go-to electrical person for their family, other than my uncle, who's literally an electrician. Treat electricity with respect and don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Because you are gonna get yourself killed.
Yeah, and I'm not saying, like, don't just dive in, do your research, shit like that. I'm not saying don't do that. Study, get a book, and read it. If you're set on, like, not hiring an electrician or something like that and doing it yourself.
Become an electrician. There you go. If you want to save money, become an electrician.
You're technically not saving money because you're wasting money on tuition and all that and classes. There aren't any specific, like, free classes that anybody can take because you have to still technically pay for a class. It's not that much, especially if you're only taking the class to become an electrician and you only need that because you're trying to just rewire or fix some wiring in your house.
I'm saying, bro.
I know you're
Become an
trying.
Electrician.
I know you're saying become an electrician.
If you
Here's
know
what
an
I'm saying,
electrician
though. Here's
who
what
will
I'm
teach you shit,
right.
go ask them.
But here's what I'm trying to say, though, as far as anything. For those of us that are not as well off as some people and live in the shittiest house they can have from the
You don't have
80s,
enough, yeah.
and people who just have trouble with money altogether and or are living on their own and can't afford to have somebody come out to do something, use YouTube. Go to your library, do some research, and make sure you
Do a lot.
Well, yeah, do a lot. I'm not saying don't do a lot.
You say do some research. I'm saying do a lot.
Whatever. Just doing some research means you're doing research, though. Do research. Do your research. Make sure you know what you're doing. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying just go blind. I'm saying just check stuff, okay? If anything, call somebody that is an electrician and ask questions, if anything. That itself is free. Because I've done that. I've called an electrician. I've asked questions about how to go through something. My grandfather down in Joshua Tree, he is a certified electrician. I've asked him. Here's the thing. He hasn't taught me how to do electrical. But he's walked me through little things on different electrical aspects. But I'm not an electrician. But I know a little more. I've read a book on electrical and wiring and how to deal with it. I know from the fact that my dad didn't flip all the switches to not just like flip and think that was all of them, to really check every single switch 3 times over. I check things 3 times over.
Now.
Yeah, but it's the thing of like, just do research. Even if you're just going to a library, renting a few, borrowing a few books or something like that, and utilizing YouTube, and the most you can do as far as professional help is call and ask questions from an electrician, that's fine. You'll be more fine than somebody who's doing it for the first time without any fucking guidance and fries his own fucking fingers together.
Yes, like you.
Yes.
Yes.
But ask questions.
Call an electrician before, if you are going to do your own electrical.
Call and
Which
ask
is not
questions,
advised.
do research online, something.
Call an actual certified electrician and ask questions. Do a fuck ton of research, and also call.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm literally just saying, like, for people like, that can't afford to just have somebody come out, at least, have the open possibility of do your own research. Use the internet, use your library. And I'm including that as a this and this, not a this or this. No, this and this. Utilize fucking both. Go to the library, grab a book, go to the computer, and do both at the same spot. Just type while reading, and then type. Compare notes. Compare from the internet to the book, and be like, hey, yeah. And if anything, before you completely start, ask an electrician, or if you're super desperate and you don't have an electrician you can call and trust, worst case scenario, ask Home Depot.
Oh shit, yeah.
Worst case scenario, ask Home Depot.
Yeah.
Go into Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, something. Hell, sometimes Ace is actually a little more knowledgeable than Home Depot. They're a little better about it. Ask them, because I've gotten help even at Ace a couple times about like what's like step-by-step like how-tos on how to just apply just a box for a light switch. Just a plastic or metal box for a light switch.
Yeah.
And how to just apply that and get the wiring through it and into the right spots. Not like you do this, this, and this, but more so like you put it, you cut it out just around this size, just cut it out there, measure, clean it up a little bit because you don't want it too rough, otherwise that might eat away at the box eventually if you're not careful. Or it can cause other problems. Who knows? It might allow for bugs to come in. Never know. it depends on what household you're using and I guess what kind of box you're using. But, and then, depending again on what box it is, there's a certain way you bring one wire and another side that you bring another wire to meet up, depending on the box. Some of them just have one hole, you just bring the wires through and you just connect at 2 different points, rather than bringing through 2 different sides and connect at 2 points.
Yeah.
But he walked me through and he's like, so you'll have to bring this wire in around and through this one and around through this one because of the way it's like connected and fitted, I guess. So Ace is helpful. If you have an Ace, Home Depot, or Lowe's, and you are shit out of luck on electricians, ask them.
I will say.
That's if you're shit out of luck, though.
And any fucking city definitely.
Will
I
have an
would say
electrician.
any town also.
Right.
Will have at least one, if not like 5 electricians.
Yeah,
in that
but if you
city or
happen to be
town.
shit out of luck on they just won't take your fucking call,
Yeah.
which is possible,
Or if-
because they
yeah,
can
and
just
if they don't
say
take your
we're too
call-
busy, or they just don't want to bother with
Yeah.
you.
Or you go in.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have one near you and you don't want to drive like 30 minutes to an hour
would
away,
say
just
call
ask
first.
questions. Again, shit out of luck, Ace, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever home improvement type of store you have, if you're shit out of luck is the last resort.
And look for the dude who looks like he's seen some shit.
Look for the dude wearing a Vietnam hat.
Yeah.
He'll know, and he'll tell you flat out how it is. He will call it pussy bandages. He'll call it whatever. He will literally talk to you like you're an idiot, but at least he'll make sure you know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
He does. He's been around. He's dealt with you know, either World War II or Vietnam, specifically. You know, or hell, maybe he was a guy that was a part of the war, but he dealt with all the electrical and wiring for like, you know, like
Okay,
Morse
lucky.
code readers and such. You don't know.
I think they called those humans at one point.
Well, the thing that you actually tapped, the Morse
Yeah.
code thing that you actually tapped, so probably wired some of those eventually. Yeah. So he could have been somebody that, you know, wired those up and set them up and was like, all right, now it's set up properly for you to, rather than, because who knows, that might suck. You just press down and it blows up in your face or zaps you.
Yeah.
That would suck. You know, first hand buzzer. Put it on the hand. High five! Oh, it does work. Oh, I feel it though.
It
Never
works,
know.
but it backfires.
Yeah. So.
Again, as we said earlier, don't try anything you hear in this
Yeah,
at home.
unless you know what the fuck you're actually doing as far as electrical, or have somebody that does.
Don't try it at home.
I did say unless you know what you're doing about electrical.
Yeah. If you're a certified electrician.
You don't have to be certified.
You're
If
putting
you,
this on the internet, legal reasons. Don't do this unless you're certified.
I mean,
Legal disclaimer. Don't do anything that you hear.
dude, there's literally how-to videos on YouTube for people that aren't legal
and they
certified.
say legal disclaimer.
They
or
don't
could get
always,
sued.
yeah, they don't always do a legal disclaimer though either.
Yeah, because they don't know. And,
Even
you
a
know,
certified electrician doesn't have a legal disclaimer all the time.
That's
That's a certified electrician.
That doesn't mean that they're covered, bro.
I know, I'm just saying, we don't have to have that bad of one that just says, flat out, nothing other than certified. If
It's a
you
legal
know
disclaimer.
exactly what to do.
It's a disclaimer so that people can, you know,
Yeah,
ignore the fuck out of
disclaimer,
it.
be the fuck careful. Just be fucking careful. But, again, ignoring certified, if you actually 100% know what you're doing, but you're not certified, but you know exactly what you're doing,
Okay.
or are taught, that's fine. I'm trying to leave out the
Yeah.
certification because that leaves everybody else out that can't afford a certified
You
out.
understand what a disclaimer is, right?
Yes, I do.
It's to cover our
I
ass.
know.
Not
We
to
already
act-
notified. We already said. We already told these
Yeah.
people to not try this at home.
And I'm just repeating it in case they skipped.
If they skipped past the entire thing, and just were like, "Yeah, I'll just scroll past that." Nobody's gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
You know that.
But who knows? In the future. 20
Yeah, if
years.
somebody fucking does, I pray to God in 20 years somebody fucking knows what they're doing. Because in 20 years, I expect the boomers to outdo us and kill us with their World War II shit and their know-how on how to fucking, you know, survive a war. While the rest of us are going, I can't text help. I expect the boomers to outlive the rest of us. You know, everybody that's 50 and older now, I expect them to live past us, because we're just going to end up being like, it's got a little bit of gluten, I can't eat that. Why? Are you allergic? No, I just don't like it. You're going to die. I'm sorry, but they're not going to live. I'm vegan. You're not going to live that long. We're going to eat you first.
Why? They don't got any meat on their bones.
We're going to have to eat them first. They took all our other shit away. And we ate the rest of the cows and pigs and all that. If anything, we're going to be reduced to ostrich and kangaroo.
Funnily enough, I think if you eat human, you get basically the human equivalent of mad cow disease.
Oh, yeah.
Go crazy.
Yeah, I've heard of something like that anyways.
Yeah. The mad cow disease was when they
Yeah.
fed cows to cows,
Yeah.
and they just fucking went bonkers and shit. And then humans ate the cows and then got that shit from the cows,
Now, here's another question, though.
from what I hear.
Could you really get it if you just aren't aware that that's what you're eating?
I don't think the cows knew that they were eating cows.
I'd like to think that possibly we could
It
just
might
avoid
have.
the thought process. Like I'd like to think that it's maybe all just in the head kind of thing.
Yeah.
At
and
least
not-
as far
and
as
not
like the
a
human
biological,
person.
some chemistry thing.
Yeah. Like as far as cows, it might be, especially if it's in something they eat and like the things they eat, you know? And it could be, I guess, at that point for us. But at the same time, part of me would like to think it's in our head, and we literally aren't just like getting a
Well,
disease.
I mean, that's probably
We're just
the-
going insane because we're like, I ate a human,
Yeah.
I ate a human, I'm broken.
I mean, there are cannibals. Granted, something that I thought of when I heard that was you're also feeding carnivore food to a herbivore.
Yeah.
Like cows eat grass.
Yeah.
And you're feeding them meat.
Yeah.
That might have also done something.
Probably.
Yeah.
And I will say,
There are cannibals.
for like people that have watched like River Monsters or anything like that, like I have watched all seasons in the past year.
Hippos kill their young.
Huh?
Hippos kill their young. They
Yes,
eat them.
but also there was one tribe that Jeremy had gone to near the Amazon and all that, made up entirely of cannibals.
Yeah.
Now they were nice enough to not eat them, clearly, because it went on. But they were a very healthy tribe.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing. They were sane, they were healthy. Makes you wonder, what exactly is in there, or what makes us think cannibalism is going to make us go mad? What's
Well, no, I'm
in
just
there,
saying,
or what's the
like,
thought?
You go to feeding
Yeah.
cows to cows.
Right. It's just a matter of like, you see
might
a
be fine.
tribe of cannibalisms or cannibals. So
Yeah.
what's the real thought, or what made us depict cannibals as being mad and insane, other than
They're
solitude
cannibals.
or something? Yeah. And the knowledge of like I ate a person.
Yeah.
What else is really in there? Because a lot of things depict cannibals as like crazed, foaming at the mouth type of thing, or like no mentality anymore. They
Yeah.
have some sort of mentality, I'm
They,
sure.
They
They're
just want to make it scary and moving.
Yeah. Way to go.
They just want to make it scary,
Yeah.
so they make them crazy.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. I'd like to
Cannibals are
think that
people
it's a
too.
chance. I'd like to think that there's a chance that if we had to eat people, we'd still be more fine. Just more like, God, I can't believe I ate a human. I ate a human. I ate a human. That's not that bad.
Yeah, there's three ways of going. If there's, oh my god, I can't believe I ate a human. There's, I ate a human. And then there's like, I hate a human. But okay.
Yeah. There's,
There's the-
acceptance, there's
there's-
going denial, and then there's just.
Yeah. There's acceptance, there's denial, and then there's coping by being crazy.
Exactly. Practice. Fuck off.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but it's like, I personally would like to think that it's all a mental thing. I'm sure it's not just a mental thing. It definitely might be that there's something in like the hormones and all that of people and the things that we eat that could definitely cause us to really go. "Ugh."
Yeah, now human meat.
Now,
Human meat now.
definitely eating a carnivore that's eating plants.
Probably wouldn't do too well.
No,
And then,
you might feel
Herbivore
nauseous.
eating- yeah, and
You
then a
also might
herbivore
feel underfed.
and a herbivore eating meat wouldn't be good either.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a
We're
cousin.
omnivores though,
Yeah.
so we're good.
Right? Yeah, I had a cousin. She married this guy, and he was a vegetarian.
Hmm.
And then he slowly made his way into veganism. So, and he encouraged her, and she followed into it, and she lost a lot of weight. Every time I saw her, she was more pale than I'd ever seen her. Practically as pale as that white sheet that you've got right there.
Oh damn.
She was pale,
There are
dude.
not two holes in it.
Yeah. And, like, she was super pale. She was unhealthy. Once she, like left him, though, and they split, she started eating meat again. Because she was like, I can eat meat. I don't have to be a vegan. She ate meat, and she stopped taking supplements that was supplementing what she was missing that meat and other, proteins can provide. Once she started eating that, she gained a little bit of weight to be, a healthy weight for her height and her age. But she had so much color left in her again after a while. She was healthier than she had been before. It's like, yeah, we're omnivores for a fucking reason. We're supposed to eat it all, not just this, because that goes, has proteins we need.
Yeah.
Things that go, and other, eat it. It's healthy. Yeah, literally. Eat the things that make the noise on the farm.
Yeah.
Except for the one that goes, woo. Don't eat that one, please. For the love of God. You eat that one, I will kill you.
There is a joke there. But oh well.
No. So, but yeah. No, it's a weird thought, going cannibalistic, because, we eat all the damn animals and all that, and we're left with the vegans who are just eating the trees and the grass, and we're like, I'm starving! I'm gonna eat you! I won't provide much. I know! That's why I have to eat you and your friend!
Oh.
And that won't last long if we have to eat 2 per person.
Yeah. Fuck, you just reminded me of something and then I forgot. What was it? Eating all the animals. Oh yeah. Funny thing. And this was kind of shown by a TikTok I saw about like a dude that does D&D stuff usually, I think, or Satanism. I don't know. Some people think the two are practically the same, but they're not.
They're not.
But he was basically like, when we depict like Satan, there's usually like, well, okay, not Satan, but like,
Lucifer.
No, the other one I think it starts with an M, but it's like another name for like, but it's the goat's head and like the goat legs, and then like I think a female body oftentimes then is doing like that.
There's Baphomet.
Baphomet, yeah. That one.
Baphomet, how do you say it? Yeah.
When you like look at that, it's got like a goat's head. It's got the eyes on the side of it.
Right.
And
a more humanoid body.
And then I think also goat legs, but it has like a female torso. And
or
some
male
that
torso in some depictions.
Yeah, some depictions of male torso. Usually because female torsos also have breasts. Oh my. But the point that he was making in it is that humans are weirded out and creeped out by when there's like eyes on the sides of their heads and stuff.
Yeah.
And we think dogs and animals like that are super cute, and cats. Yeah. And they have the eyes on the front of their heads.
Mm-hmm.
And so we like those. The animals with the eyes on the front of their heads
are predators.
Exactly. Yeah. And the ones on the side are like prey and like herbivores and stuff. They have it on the side because they're not going to kill you.
Yeah, they're not
with
trying
them
to
on
find
the front.
You to attack.
Yeah, the ones with them on the front will actively hunt out and kill you. And humans like that shit.
Yeah. We basically.
Yeah. We're like, oh look at that! I want to be a friend.
As a predator ourselves, Americans like predators.
Yeah. Americans, humans.
Yeah.
Like predators.
Yeah. But we're all, in a way, we're all our own predators, And because we're predators, we like predators.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Some of the cuter shit has eyes on the side of its head.
What?
Well, like some of the fish. Admittedly, there are fish that have eyes on the sides of their heads that are cute.
Yeah.
Or, there's bugs even that have eyes on the side of their heads that are cute. Kind of bugs and all that.
I don't know about cute for bugs.
Okay, for some people they're cute.
Some people. Okay, for some people, dildos up the butts are fun. But I'm gonna say for most people, well, I don't know about most people and dildos up the butt.
But for some of the people that
for most people, bugs probably aren't cute.
Right. There are definitely some cute bugs.
Yeah, like Lucas the spider, like those little fucking things. It's like, oh, and its eyes are on the front of its face.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's a predator, but at the same time, there's like omnivores and whatnot that are cute as well. But also,
but like the little, like, I won't fuck with you if you don't fuck with me, like rams, buffaloes, like their eyes on the sides of their head.
Yeah.
They're more peaceful.
Right.
Humans are weirded out by that shit.
Yeah,
and
well,
so we're
like,
cool with killing it.
I'm
So we like to
uncomfortable-
befriend the things that want to kill us.
Right. I'm more so uncomfortable with, like, say, a possum or a rat. I see a wild possum, a wild rat with eyes at the front of his head. I'm uncomfortable with those. Those unsettle me.
A possum eyes on the front, sides are kind of in between.
It's argued that they're more so the front, because they're more so a predator type of animal, because they will eat meat as well.
Okay.
And they will
Yeah.
kill a cat too. Like, if they get into a fight, they will kill a cat
Okay. Yeah, I can see that then.
as, like, a actual
Yeah.
intent to
Yeah.
kill the cat
I would say
and eat the
front.
cat.
Yeah, I can't think of possum anatomy at the moment.
Right.
So either front, maybe in between front and side.
Yeah.
I'd
But
say.
they're definitely a predator type.
Yeah.
But they're also marsupial. They're a predator marsupial. But I'm uncomfortable by the appearance of a fucking possum. We had a
Mice.
possum on our...
Mice and rats, I think, definitely have it on the sides of their head though.
Yeah.
And those things fucking creep me the fuck out.
And
Like,
those
I don't
are
like that shit.
classified as, like, potential predators as well.
Yeah, they're rodents.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they, will eat shit. They're bad for humans.
Yeah.
But humans are like weirded out and don't want to befriend that shit. The shit we want to befriend is the
It's
shit that will
dangerous.
kill us. The
Yeah.
dangerous shit is like,
But
hey.
the fact that I can be unsettled by, like, something that is essentially in the same grouping as a predator
Yeah.
that we all want to befriend, I'm unsettled by a possum. We had one on our porch one day, and it didn't do anything other than stop when I opened the door, because I heard a noise on our porch. I was like, what is that? Open the door, there's a possum sitting right there, and I'm going, literally,
Yeah.
chills down my spine. I'm like, nope, uncomfortable. I don't like it. For some reason, it's just, that was something I learned about myself. I apparently don't like the look of a possum. Okay, go away. However, a raccoon, I will stand off against, because I've done it.
Eyes on the front of its face.
Yeah, fucking...
Fuck you, I can take you.
There was one day
You
we
won't.
had like 3 raccoons out in our backyard, and they were fighting over some garbage and all that, like trash pandas do, right? I went outside, and because we had cats that live outside that just come and go as they please, I went outside. I had a PVC pipe, nice, probably about like almost 4-foot long PVC pipe, right? I go outside, I grab that thing, I go out in the backyard, and I see them, and I start going, and literally, 2 run off. One, the bigger one, stands up on its hind legs and looks at me and starts approaching me. On its hind legs, like it's walking like a human. I'm like, and I start backing up like, fuck, I'm gonna die. This
Yeah.
raccoon was ready to throw down. I'm like, ah! Finally, I swung at the raccoon, hit it, and it fell over, stood back up, and looked at me. The fucking thing just stood back up and looked at me. I'm like,
Yeah, it's trying to intimidate the fuck out of you.
I'm
It's
like-
backed up.
yeah, I'm like, fuck you, the other 2 ran, dude. And it's an open backyard, too. So, 2 ran away when I came along. This one's like, you ain't doing shit. I'm like, first thought through my brain was, arm him. Arm him, give him armor, make an army. No, kill him. I didn't kill him, of course, but I poked him with the thing, and he goes, he puts his hands on the PVC pipe that's poking him. Granted, he can't, stop me, but he's got his hands on it, and it's poking him repeatedly, so he's just going a back and forth motion with his hands, and he looks at me, and he goes, or whatever the fuck the sound is that they make, and he goes, and I'm like, finally I'm like, fuck you, and I hit him on the top of the head, and I walked away, and I can hear this in the grass behind me. I'm like, fuck off! I'll kill you!
Was it going towards you or what?
Yes! I started backing away finally. I started walking backwards. I'm watching it, and it's staring at me again on its hind legs. I'm like, you are just stupid! And it's like, I'm ready to die.
Yeah, like, look, bro. Humans are like that too,
Yeah? Unless you're a big bitch, baby. Like,
Yeah,
I
other
can
two.
be sometimes.
The other 2 were the big bitch babies.
Yeah.
That one was the one fucker that's like, come on, huh? Come on.
I will destroy you. And I'm like, I will fucking die!
It's like the story of that kid who was walking home with his sister after going to the store or something. I want to say it was like a European country. Or maybe it was in Canada. But a kid and his sister were walking home through the woods, and there was a fucking moose.
Yeah.
If you have not seen a moose, they are
Oh no, I've seen it. They're bigger than a car.
ginormous.
It's bigger than your fucking car.
Bigger than that truck right there.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
fucking
maybe
huge.
not lengthwise, but yeah, bigger. Stands taller. Yeah.
Taller. They're fucking huge.
Yeah, they're massive. They
And
could
this
stop a fucking
yeah.
minivan.
this thing saw them, noticed them, was not being friendly, and the brother like had his sister like run home,
Right.
and the brother basically from I think like World of Warcraft or something used like taunt or like intimidate or something, and like stood up, made a bunch of noise or some shit, and like the moose fucking ran
Ran
away.
off.
And this was a little kid, dude,
Right.
a little brother, like a
Well,
young
just goes to show,
brother.
video games teach us shit.
Yeah. But like, that's like the fucking raccoon, like, come on, bitch, you fucking won't, and it's like, what the fuck is this little creature doing? Like,
Yeah.
what are you? I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know about like the
Yeah,
other two ran
I'm
off,
the
you're
fucking
like,
moose.
Yeah, fuck you, little too. but
I'm the
that one
moose, and the
stood up.
raccoon is the little kid.
Yeah, that little one that's like, come on, bitch, try me. You're like, oh, I don't know about this anymore. He seems to think he can take me. I don't know why he thinks he can take me. I don't feel safe anymore.
Exactly.
Like, that's an actual thing.
Fucking nuts. It's a fight or flight response there that the two of us encountered. I encountered my flight. He encountered his fight.
Yeah, and it
No.
was a raccoon versus you. Granted,
Yeah.
raccoons can scratch and bite.
Yeah, fucking no. Not okay.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. I mean, like, now I've got, like, you know, a numeric Glock 19, you know, airsoft pistol. So if I encounter a raccoon doing that again, I can just, like, fire air at it. Run, bitch, run!
Yeah.
Now I run when that still looks at me and blinks and goes, "Ah!" and charges me. That's when you definitely say no.
Yeah.
Because it clearly is not afraid at all.
Yeah, when that
When it
raccoon
doesn't
fucking
fear a
does that
gun at all.
shit. Well, it doesn't know. It just sees like you hold the thing and then a blast of air.
Yeah.
The other two probably would have gone and ran off.
Yeah.
But that one motherfucker probably would have just gone, the fuck that dude, bitch.
Right? That's when you apply BBs. Now, if you shoot it with a BB in the chest area or the stomach while it's standing on its hind legs and it still doesn't run, run.
Shoot in the face.
Takes out its eye. Still standing there. Run. That's the kind of raccoon that would probably lose its eye and still stand there and look at you and go, fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's when you run.
It's like, you've taken a knife from me. Now it's time to die.
Yeah.
That's when you fucking MMA kick the fucking raccoon.
Unless the fucker just manages to, like, at the right moment,
Right,
grab on,
grab onto your
hold on,
leg.
and just be like, woo!
Yeah, and then you're fucking flinging your leg around and it's going flap, flap, flap.
Gets right in your face and goes,
Climbs.
ah!
Yeah, climbs up on top
Like,
of you.
well, shit.
Yeah. That's where you have to be a fucking fighter and just grab the bitch and go boosh
Or
down.
be the type of dumbass that I know I can be and go, whoa, 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 smash, 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 just
would
headbang
fucking
full on, as he's like, I'm letting go, bam, oh, my face.
Don't hurt animals.
Don't call
But you
whoever
would
the
be-
hell you can call, PETA, animal control, call
I
them.
don't think.
I don't
PETA
know if you could call PETA, but if
yeah.
you happen to have a way to call PETA, call PETA.
I don't think PETA comes and takes care of raccoons in your backyard.
Hey, you could be like, PETA, I found a wild raccoon. It's absolutely wonderful. It's sitting on my face. Could you come and save it for me? While you're sitting there going, I'm dying!
And they're like, sorry, we don't do that. Be like, okay, well, what if I kill the raccoon? Or like, really torture it? And it's like,
We're gonna show
we're
up
coming
right
for
there.
you. Then we're
And-
coming for you. Like, well, hurry, because I have
And
a
you
raccoon
just
on
start
my
punching a
face.
squeaky toy that's nearby
Yeah.
or something like that. I'm beating a raccoon! They show up. Raccoon's totally fine. Here you go. What were you doing? I was hitting a squeaky toy.
Yeah.
You!
We
Thank
have-
you!
We have one of those little hammers that.
Yeah. Or like one of those little like little tipping things that made an animal sound or something like that. Yeah. You know, or and you got one that makes the sound of a cow or something like that, or you've got a different one. Just play one of those, make it sound like you're really mutilating that to where it doesn't sound right anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you just play the sound of a screeching cat on your phone. Just like, I got a problem, one animal, beating the shit out of it. They show up. There you go, thank you. What did you do? I held it. What was that sound we heard? My phone. There you go. Thank you. You're taking care of it now. Bye. And walk off. You've tricked PETA, and you've gotten away. Hopefully.
This is not a step-by-step process to trick PETA.
Hey, you never know.
They're probably still gonna use it.
You know what? I'm gonna say it right now. Fuck it. If you're one of those idiots that thinks I'm gonna try that, You earned this shit.
You earned the lawsuit, my friend.
Yeah. If you like, oh, they said do it, while we were like, don't do it, and you were like, oh, but I can do it.
Do it.
Yeah, if you're one of those people, you earned whatever the hell you're getting. Everybody else, I know you're smart enough to be like, God, these are a bunch of idiots in this podcast.
Yeah.
So, anyway, God.
This fucking yeah. Just don't try this at home. That's the name of this one.
Yeah, this is a don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it, don't try it. There you go.
We did not even touch on the topic I had backed up. We were deciding, we don't have anything to do. And I'm like, want to do this? You're like, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't even need it.
We fill time.
Yeah.
We can fill any void with as many words as we want.
Yeah, just so long as my family's not around.
Yes, which usually is the case,
Yeah.
because, we wait till they're gone.
Yeah.
Unless you're like me, sitting in the corner going, while your grandma's sitting in the back of the building.
Yeah, I was like, dude, don't.
I did that earlier at work too. Just like, customer walks in. Hi, how's it going?
Like right after you did that?
Right after I did that. Hi, how's it going? How can I help you? 20 on 5. Okay. You're clearly questioning me. But do I give a shit? Clearly not. At least today. Damn. Any other day I'd be like, hi. Today it's like, what's up? I admit it was me. So. Yeah.
Fucking
Don't try this shit at home though, or anywhere. In fact, don't even just decide I'm gonna build a random shack and try wiring. Fucking don't.
No.
Build a random shack, sure. Just don't
wire.
apply electrical.
Yeah, don't apply electrical.
Now, if you're applying solar, that's different. You can buy a fucking solar kit at Home Depot.
You can't?
They got home. Well, maybe not right now, but I've seen they have home, like solar kits. It's literally a smaller generator and a smaller solar panel.
Like a small battery and a solar panel?
Yeah, well, generator battery thing. Literally, it's something about like 1.5 feet in cubic
Well,
feet.
yeah, like something to take the solar
Yeah,
energy
but you
and
can
turn
plug
it
stuff
into
into.
electrical.
Yeah, you can plug stuff into it.
Okay, yeah.
They've got things like that. So if you're gonna do that, that's fine, because literally you have an instruction manual that says plug into here, plug into there, set up. There you go.
Yeah. They're
That's
the ones
one thing.
liable. They're the ones liable at that point.
Yeah, because
They
they.
purchased a product.
Yeah, exactly. If you fuck that up somehow, God, you're stupid. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You've earned it.
That's, dude, if that was the bar for being stupid, like,
You screw up a freaking solar panel kit that's just essentially a box and a panel, and you just plug it into each other and set it in a spot, and you get power.
that's a lot more complicated than you think for some people.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. I agree.
It really shouldn't.
If everyone could actually fucking think.
Yeah,
the
because
world
I
would be
remember
great.
back when Markiplier had a van, like he had a white van, no windows. He got,
Hi,
he
children.
literally went to a hardware store of some sort. I think it was like either Home Depot or Lowe's. Bought a solar kit. Literally just this little thing he set up. He could plug a mini fridge into it and a gaming console and charge his phone into it. And he set up the solar panel on top of the roof.
Yes.
You can buy those. Set it up in a little building or something like that. If that's your goal, fine. You can't fry yourself, I hope.
Yeah.
I
That's
hope.
challenging. That'd be challenging.
Just don't douse it with water. That's a definite.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or-
Build a shack? Sure. You don't have to know what you're doing. Hell, freaking just throw some sticks together and be like,
I
look!
would say- I'm gonna say, if you're using some heavy wood, you should probably look up a...
Well, if you're using like, OSB or something like that, the particle wood and all that, and you got a hammer and nails, and that's what you know to do
Yeah,
is
if you're
build something.
If you use any, like, nails or something to build something, look up what the fuck you're doing. If you're just, like, leaning two boards together and you're like, I have a shed now, yeah!
Now,
Then you're fine.
Now, if you're nailing
gonna
something,
fall on you, but
Now,
you're
I
fine.
will say, however, if you're just nailing things together, like if you're just nailing a shack together, essentially, generally it's not that hard. Generally, it's not that hard to look.
For someone who would go do it on their own and be like, yeah, I'm going to build this shack on my own. It's
Yeah.
not that hard. For someone who's like, I want to build a shack, and then they hear someone go, build a shack, and they're like, yeah. And then they just go,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because I could build like a crappy little shack with just a hammer and nails.
Yeah.
Maybe screws if I'm feeling ambitious.
Yeah.
And lush with cash. But, you know, fucking screws are expensive. But, you know, I could go out anywhere, put up a shack, nail it together. Is it gonna look good? No.
Yeah.
Am I gonna use it for storing things? Probably not, especially if I did it randomly in the desert. Am I doing it just for the sake of doing it? Yes. Do you have to know what you're doing 100%? I mean, to cut it, yes.
Yeah.
Know what you're doing to cut it, measure twice, cut
Yeah,
once.
I was just gonna say
Or
that.
if you're like me, measure 5 times, cut once.
Yeah.
Because measuring 5 times, you really drive it home that this is it.
Yeah.
That's what I tend to do. Measure. All right. I'm going to measure again, though, just in case I was wrong. No, all right. Yep. But, yeah. Okay. But, yeah. Okay. But, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's me. But, you know,
And that's good.
still, it's like, if you're not doing anything other than just putting up 4 boards, it shouldn't, and I emphasize shouldn't, be difficult. Anybody can make a fucking box to just stuff their keys into.
My friend.
It's just a bigger scale.
My friend, is there anything you want to revise about that?
Should.
I mean,
You
with-
should be able to. However, I guarantee there's a lot of people
I
that don't
mean
know
with-
how to do
I
that
mean
crap.
with the project. Because I wouldn't want to just put up 4 boards. I'd want to put up 5 so I have a roof.
I mean, if your main goal is just make a box, you make a box. Not all boxes have to have a lid.
True. You could just have a very wet box.
Yeah.
And when it's
You
ready.
never know. Maybe you put it there to trap some dumbass. Or you literally put it there for, you know, the show What on Earth or something. For them to go, now who would have done this? Aliens. Dude, no. Some drunk guy with the freaking hammer and nails decided, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're doing it to throw the satellites off. Who knows? You know? But yes, if you're gonna build yourself a little shack, slap a roof on it, even if it's flat. It might not hold for long, especially wind, snow, or rain, but you have a temporary shack to throw something into. Also, I guess, cut out a hole for, you know, a door.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
An entryway would be nice.
yeah, it'd be nice. Unless, you know, you plan on making it, you know,
Unless you plan on
Open.
crawling through the gap from the low back end to the high front end, and then walk out there and you have a little ladder to crawl
Right.
over, and then a ladder to crawl back
or
out.
you decide to fucking Minecraft it and say, I'm gonna dig a hole and lead it under and in. At that point, good luck.
You just dig a hole like under part of the fucking board.
And then inside.
Yeah.
And you're like, look, I have 2 square feet worth of room now because I dug a hole big enough for me. Don't Minecraft it, though, please.
You're gonna fucking-
That will really go wrong for you.
You're gonna get stuck.
It's gonna cave in.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you just go like, here's the board, and then you just go like, just around it. like,
Yeah.
down, and
Yeah.
you just squeeze through. That's one thing.
But if you're making like a tunnel,
But if you go down and then across and then back up, that shit's gonna cave in.
yeah, you're more than likely gonna cave it in unless you take a whole lot of 2x4s and 4x4s.
Unless you know
and
what you're
apply it.
doing.
Yeah, again, whole lot of 2x4s, 4x4s, and make fucking joists and all that, like a
Yeah.
fucking mine shaft.
Exactly.
Unless you're doing that, don't.
The great thing is that's probably still gonna fall down.
It probably will.
Yeah. Because it's super surface level, so all of the dirt's loose as shit.
Yeah.
And it's not as hard as a mine shaft.
Yeah, it's just gonna go.
Yeah.
So.
The only part that might not is because a lot of like lawns and shit have like that little like fucking plastic green like
Yeah.
weaved shit underneath the grass.
Well,
so that part
in the
might
spot
hold.
where you're stepping, that won't cave in either.
Yeah, the part below your cave won't cave in.
Exactly.
But then like the grass, like that little weave
Yeah.
right there, that
But
might
you
hold.
said the only part that won't cave in.
The floor won't cave in on nothing. Like, you know,
Hey, I'm just.
matter won't cave in on
Colin's
itself.
not here. He can't
True.
defend his own perspective.
True. You gotta
I gotta
make
do
up-
it for him.
You gotta make up for the fact that Colin ain't here.
Yeah, I gotta have his point of views, his opinions, his, you know, like,
Yeah.
well, just don't do this,
That
just
is-
don't do that.
That is his exact fucking point of view there. I'm certain.
Yeah, so. And this whole episode has been a whole lot of don't do this at home and just fuck it, just don't. Fuck it, just don't.
If you hadn't had heard this episode, you'd be better off.
Yeah. You'd be better off because I hope, anyways, common sense would say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll leave it alone. Especially kids these days. I don't know. I'll just have mom and dad do it. Mom and dad, yeah, I'm calling an electrician because my son doesn't know how to, do his own research and ask questions on his own. Or even make a call on his own. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's 25. Uh-huh, yeah, okay.
Okay, good. I was about to say, like, what do you mean, parents? They wouldn't be able to do that. And then you said it's 25, and I'm like, oh, those parents would be able to do that.
Yeah.
Those parents would be able to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Parent of a kid who's, like, 10 now, like, no, not.
Parent's
usually.
gonna have to call.
Yeah.
Because the
Parents
parent
gonna have
knows
to call
that.
someone else
Yeah.
to come do it.
Yeah, but the parent of their kids that are, in their 20s and all that,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have that. If your kid is like in his early 20s, early 30s, and he moved out and then came home and is an absolute shit of a kid, doesn't have a job or anything, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. Admittedly, I'm 24 and I live with my dad and my grandma. However, I have a job.
Yeah.
I just have addictions.
Yeah.
That's another story, though.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll get into addiction.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just do addictions next time.
Yeah.
Next time on BozzyCast, fucking addictions. However, for this one, that's it. That's gonna be it. That has to be it.
I gotta take a piss.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Well, we'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much, and thank you for, joining me on this episode, Hanger.
No problem.
Yeah.
Did.
So, anyways, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you listened, if you are just now tuning into this episode and were curious about what the hell the end was going to entail, just don't even bother with the rest of it and just go about your common sense, please.
Also, what are you doing listening this far into this bullshit? Like,
Just go. It's over. Like, subscribe, share, laugh at us. Tell your friends to laugh at us. It just means views.
true.
If you like this video, hit that like button and let me know if you want me to do a shocking discovery next time. Zap zap.
Oh,
Next time.
I'm not taking you to buy a taser.
I'm gonna get a taser. Bye, everybody.
God, see ya.